Good morning, I'm Dylan Gonzalez. The Columbus Blue Jackets were on home ice last night hosting the visiting Ottawa Senators at Nationwide. The Jackets got off to a horrible start, giving up 3 unanswered goals to begin the game. The CBJ were unable to recover and lost by a final of 6-3. Thursday Night Football last night featured an NFC South Division matchup between the Atlanta Falcons and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The game came down to a last-minute drive, where Falcons kicker Zane Gonzalez hit a 43-yard field goal with time expiring to win the game and upset the Bucs 29-28. And finally, former Michigan coach Sherrone Moore still remains in custody, but is expected to appear in court for arraignment later today. This update was sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. As an approved expense for both HSA and FSA accounts, you could save up to 40% on your Awaken 180 program. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Good morning, Columbus.
Joe, that ain't good enough. Come on, Joe.
Wake up! Stop this one!
Frizzle left tight, F fly, pass 37 punch, waggle, help, baby dizzy, X-fan on the turbo.
Thank you, baby.
Football, man.
It's time to listen to a bald, fat loudmouth.
Mr. T-Bone.
And a former football player.
And that ball intercepted by Tyvis, pal.
Wow, no radio station has ever done that before.
Did it work for those people?
No, it never does. But it might work for us.
Welcome to T-Bone and Tyvis.
You know, things are crazy in the sports world when you have a bombshell of a story and it just overtakes everything, that you're waking up early in the morning and you're waiting for like the next piece of news, what's going on. We certainly got that this week with the Sherrone Moore story. We got the latest for you. A rough night for my Jackets last night, a even maybe rougher night for Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We get to all of it coming up this morning. You got it, T-Bone and Tyvis right here on The Fan. I'm Matt Fontana in for T-Bone this morning. Tyvis, it's been a while, my man. How you been?
Oh, I've been well. Although, the Brown season has been up and down, and, I have to cover that. So I've had some good moments and I've had some bad ones, but everything is going well right now.
It's a dangerous question to ask. Is all the holiday shopping done? We're only 2 weeks out, man.
Yeah. Did you hurry up and get all that done?
Yeah, I'm good. Amazon's been on our house. Like, I know the driver by name at this point. Like, every day, it's all right. But it was funny because you and I are similar age, right? Remember when you were growing up, you had no choice but to go to the store. You had no choice but to, everybody would go out on Black Friday and you had to fight people off to get stuff. Now, dude, we have a registry created for our kids. We just send it to my brothers and I'm like, here, grab them something off this. You'll see when somebody else buys it, it'll ship out and, get it wrapped and it's at the house. There's nothing wrong with that.
Wow, I've never even thought to do that. I've never thought to even
do it. It's a hack, man, because you have to do it on Amazon. You can make it public, like for your, like I know you have kids, like just every time they mention something, just throw it on there. Make it, you can make it private, and then the only people that can access it are the people you send the link to. And I just sent it to everybody that, was buying stuff. Because, inevitably people that want to get stuff for your kids, they always ask you, like, well, what are they into or what do they want? Mm-hmm. Throw a bunch of stuff on there, different price points. And then when somebody else gets it off the registry, they can mark that they got it off the registry. And then you don't even have to worry about it. It's a hack, man. It's such a hack for kids.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to try that. I'm gonna have to try. You done put me on to something this morning.
No, that's a great idea. I'll make it public. A stranger could buy my kid a Christmas gift. That's fine.
It's coming from Santa. It's coming from Santa.
There you go. Dylan's going to be tweeting us out by the end of the day for all the great listeners of the fan. Like, hey, you want to buy Dylan something for Christmas? Like, here, just throw it on the registry. We're good and done. We'll get to the latest on the Sherrone Moore situation because, as you're in Dylan's update, he will be arraigned later today. We'll find out what those charges are, too, because I think that was a big question of just kind of what everything that happened that came down Wednesday night. But, Tyvis, we got to start with that Thursday night football game and just what is completely wrong and broken with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Getting up early this morning, I got into the third quarter, and I was like, oh, this game's over. Like, we're good. Baker's got this 2-score lead. I don't even got to sweat it. I wake up this morning finding out they lost on a last-second field goal, that they gave up 17 fourth-quarter points, and now also wake themselves up and find out that they are not leading the NFC South anymore. It is the Carolina Panthers. Like, obviously, like I said, you cover the Browns. I'm in Cleveland. There's always going to be this Baker Mayfield kind of tie over with the Browns and things like that. But I'm also just staring at a football team that's lost 5 out of their last 6 games. Tough schedule, I get, but man, that doesn't look like a football team that deserves to make the playoffs.
Yeah, no, you're talking about Baker in like week 4 or 5 being the MVP of the league. And this team is hot. Emeka was hot. And ever since, it's just really cooled off. You know, Baker's had some of those things where, you know, with us, he'd always have like this turnover in the fourth quarter or late in games. And you're starting to see that again. Obviously, I think he's dealing with that shoulder thing. So you got that going on. And then the defense for Tampa Bay, I mean, under Todd Bowles, they've been really good. But for some odd reason, Kyle Pitts and the run game really came to life in the fourth quarter. I mean, obviously Kyle Pitts had 3 tugs, which is I don't think Kyle Pitts has had 3 tugs in his life. Yeah, he never had 3 tugs.
At least not in the NFL.
They were talking about how in his career, like, he's only ever had 3 touchdowns in a season after he got it, or I'm sorry, 4. 4 was his career high for a season, and after he scored his second one, they go, wow, he's already got 3 for this season. So, yeah, it's crazy to see that, and I saw so many people that go, yeah, how bad would that be if you were facing him in your playoffs this week for fantasy football? Like, nobody would ever start him. It's been bad, and you're done in by Kyle Pitts.
I just checked. I got a bye this week. Thank you. So I ain't got to worry about it. But the guy who has
Tyvis playing a little bit of fantasy football. All right, well done.
The guy who has him actually put him on the bench.
Oh, no.
So he's also having a bye this week, so it's irrelevant.
Yeah. So there, I mean, again, I don't know if I would have played him, so I get it. But I like that's the craziness of fantasy football. And, you know, back to the Bucs kind of like overall, because the Falcons too, they're like one of those teams that I thought last night, they don't have much going for them. Penix is hurt again. I was pretty sure Raheem Morris might get fired in the third quarter for the amount of penalties that the Falcons were going to have. And I was thinking about that too, Tyvis, because, you know, we're again in Cleveland, the Stefanski, even Zach Taylor in Cincinnati, who a lot of people think he might be on the hot seat too. But I was reading an article yesterday about all the coaching candidates. You know, everybody brings up Clint Kubiak, and obviously we'll get to Jesse Minter and the Michigan thing coming up in a little bit, but like that, I think it was Connor Orr of SI said there's bound to be 6 openings this offseason. 6! And I'm like, man, it's like finding a quarterback. It's like having to go pull Phillip Rivers at 44 years old out of retirement. Finding a quarterback and finding a head coach is not as easy as some people make it out to be or think it is, where you can't even find 32 of them. There's only 32 of these jobs in the entire world of being a starting quarterback in the NFL and being an NFL head coach. And bro, we can't find 32 of them every year. Can't find 32.
It's incredible. I've been saying that for the development of quarterbacks has truly fallen by the wayside, and that's why these 40-year-old guys keep getting jobs and keep becoming starters, because the college game ain't doing a great job, and the NFL is not patient enough with the younger guys. So you got no choice if you want to win. If you're in win now mode, you always got to go out and get some dude that's 40, that's got a bunch of experience, and hope that he can relapse to his younger days and help you win a lot of games. So it's kind of funny. I think we had Joe Flacco had his moment, Aaron Rodgers, Phillip Rivers. It's funny that these older guys still are getting these jobs.
Season of the Unk. That's what everybody's calling it right now. The season of the Unk are out there getting it done, still cashing some checks too. We'll get into that later with Phillip Rivers. I do have an interesting question about the Colts situation, but the latest on Sherrone Moore, you know, Tyvis, I know you guys covered it a lot yesterday, and just the shock that came out Wednesday night. And I don't mean to overplay it, Tyvis, and just, you know, Matt Fontana filling in for T-Bone this morning, like, just to kind of where I was at, like, Tyvis, that's one of those moments that I don't know if I'll ever forget where I was at. Like, reading this shock of, like, they fired him, and then he was, you know, at our house and just all this stuff. The latest we know this morning, he's still in police custody. He'll be arraigned a little bit later today. We'll find out exactly what those charges are. But just the massive amount of fallout from this, and then I continue, while that situation is so sad in itself and just the lives that frankly have been ruined. I don't want Sherrone Moore hurting himself, but he's put himself in this situation. These are things that he was doing. There are some updates on kind of how they fired him and maybe some missteps that happened, in that whole process. But I just continue to think about the program. And more importantly, like the players, right? The recruits that signed that can't leave until they find a new coach. The recruits that are going to sit there and say, is it time for me to transfer out? It's just as the days go on, as the hours go on, waiting for more information. Like, I just still keep thinking about a lot of these recruits and players that don't know where they're going to be next month or what football team they're going to be playing for.
Well, they get the 15-day window. That's going to be interesting to see. But they got to make a splash hire. They got to get somebody that these players is like, you know what, I like him. We can definitely, stick around and try to continue to be Wolverines and try to build this program up and try to bounce back. But if that next hire is somebody that they're not confident in, then, they're going to leave. I was listening to Jake Butt talk about when they were about to try to hire Jim Harbaugh, I think they said the AD or something came in there and was like asking their opinion of a couple of candidates, and he said that they respected that as a team because it felt like they were investing in them and that they cared about them. So but now you got Ward Manuel who might not even be the guy. So it's that whole situation. They got a lot to figure out.
And it's crazy because Nicole Auerbach had a report that Ward Manuel, who's the athletic director at Michigan, when he fired Sherrone Moore, according to Nicole Auerbach, they knew that Sherrone Moore was battling some mental health issues. Ward Manuel decided to then fire him in a room by himself with no HR rep and no security there. And now in hindsight, understanding what transpired or allegedly transpired later that evening, what a complete misstep by Michigan to have the information that they had and not put some guardrails up or some security around Sherrone Moore. So a really sad situation all around. We'll continue to update this morning because, again, I'm sure more is going to come out as we get rolling later in today as Sherrone Moore will be arraigned and kind of moving forward on that. We do have, Tyvis mentioned it, that list, that splash list. Is there an outside chance? Because Joel Klatt put out a list that he guarantees, Tyvis, that the next coach of Michigan is coming off of this list. We'll get to that coming up a little bit later in the show. But speaking of athletic directors, Ohio State's athletic director, Ross Bjork, going to defend a Buckeye. We'll tell you that story coming up. Steve Bone and Tyvis right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning and welcome to your Friday. We are noticing, folks, a really big crash if you're heading from downtown to the north side, and especially if you're taking 71. That crash happening at 11th Avenue. All lanes completely blocked in this area. A huge police presence out there. Looks like a couple of cars, even possibly a semi-truck is involved with this. Once again, you cannot get through. Instead, take interstates like 315 and even over by 23 northbound to get you where you want to go this morning. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Fan traffic is sponsored by Care Heating and Cooling.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Save big and everything for your next project when you shop at Menards. Refresh your home today with window images, blinds, and shades. We have everything you need for updating your window treatments. We carry vinyl, aluminum, and faux wood blinds, cellular shades, and more. Plus, you can get them trimmed to width in-store for free. Also, be sure to check out the weekly flyer on Menards.com for all our great deals happening this week.
Have a good day. Stay warm. So my teenage son just went to school in shorts and a hoodie. It's 3 degrees. At least I know he'll be warm in our house, thanks to Atlas Butler. If something goes wrong, they'll fix it within 24 hours. They call it their comfort pledge. Ah, you do want the coat.
My phone.
Oh, your phone. Should have known.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
Ho, ho, ho!
Santa Bucks Outback at Meijer. This Friday and Saturday only, save up to $50 with Santa Bucks. Stack your Santa Bucks on top of super sale items to save even more on popular brands like Crock-Pot, Keurig, and Gourmet. Clip your Santa Bucks coupon in the Meijer app for low prices and more merry for your money. This Friday and Saturday only, Santa Bucks and Meijer. Now that's what makes the holiday season a good deal better. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
'Tis the season for making memories. Give the gift of more time together at Dick's House of Sport and join us for family fun events all season long. Plus, climb a rock wall, test the multi-sport cage, and perfect your swing in a golf simulator. And shop the widest selection of the hottest brands like Nike, FP Movement, Adidas, Carhartt, UGG, and Stanley. Unforgettable moments start here at Dick's House of Sport. Visit dicks.com/House of Sport to see what's happening this season.
Do you suffer from leg pain, leg swelling, varicose veins, or leg ulcers? Dr. Barry Zeta and Dr. Joseph Senta at Ohio Vein and Vascular Polaris are pioneers in the vein and vascular field. Dr. Zeta and Dr. Senta can perform minimally invasive procedures that will get you back on track to a pain-free life. Stop living with leg pain and start the process to healthy living with a free healthy leg screening. Go to loveyourveins.com or call 614-426-VEIN. That's 614-426-VEIN or loveyourveins.com.
Planning to buy a home in 2026? Not sure where to start? The Ohio Housing Finance Agency can help. With a step-by-step homebuyer's guide and financial tools, the Ohio Housing Finance Agency can make homeownership part of your future. Eligible homebuyers may qualify for down payment assistance and reduced mortgage interest rates. To see if you qualify and to find a mortgage lender, visit myohiohome.org. Again, that's myohiohome.org. Homeownership. Make it part of your future. Sponsored by the Ohio Housing Finance Agency, aired by the Ohio Association of Broadcasters, and this station.
Come on, kids, we're going to Grandma's house.
Grandma's house! Grandma's house! What do we do to be safe and ready to go? We buckle up. Buckle up.
Phones down.
Phones down. And when we go, take it slow. And if you drink,
don't drive. And off we go.
ODOT, the Ohio State Highway Patrol, and the Ohio Traffic Safety Office are doing their part to keep roads safe. Do your part to make sure everyone makes it home safe for the holidays.
At the Ohio Lottery, we make Keno fun, your way. That means every few minutes across Ohio, 20 out of 80 possible numbers are randomly picked. And if some of the numbers you picked match, voila, you're a winner. Keno doesn't require you to know a single thing about sports, ball, or overs, unders, pluses, minuses, or lines, or whatever else. Keno is as simple as, did some of my numbers match? They did? Great. You just raked in some dough. There are more than 20 hours of Keno draws every day and thousands of places to play statewide. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
In the old days when people lived to be 40, you only had one option for listening to your favorite show. But now, ooh, baby, radio, podcast, the Fan app, and YouTube, just to name a few, live or on demand. You have no excuses. The Fan. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Hey there, Central Ohio. I'm San Weather Impact Meteorologist Michael Behrens with your latest forecast. We're looking at some snow chance early this morning, but most of it will stay south of Columbus. Temperatures in the mid-30s this afternoon with some sunshine poking through. We'll be down into the upper 20s tonight with heavy snow expected Saturday. 10 TV Weather Impact Alert Day for the second half of the day as multiple inches of snowfall are expected to fall. That's your latest 10 Weather Impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
Are you working? Because we barely are. It's Football Friday.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Your home for football and quiet quitting. The Fan. The only contraband hiding in Tyvis's butt cheeks is a Kit Kat bar. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
So we all know how the Big Ten championship game went down for Ohio State. Tough game. Indiana gets the win, and a big part of that was a missed field goal for the Buckeyes, and the fallout from that has caught the attention of Ohio State athletic director Ross Bjork. I'm Matt Fontana in for T-Bone today here on T-Bone and Tyvis. He, of course, is Tyvis Powell, former Buckeye, and Tyvis I couldn't wait to kind of get your thoughts on this because, you know, Fox 28 at Columbus, they had a story about Jaden Fielding, the Ohio State kicker who missed that short field goal, and you know, unfortunately, the world that we live in, I'm not shocked to read this. He received online harassment, hate speech, all the things just thrown at Jaden Fielding after he missed that kick. And then yesterday, Ross Bjork comes out and he said, thank you to Fox 28 Columbus for bringing this to light. And he said the abhorrent reactions to Jaden and his family are totally unacceptable, and those who cross the line should be held accountable. Jaden is a great young man, and we're supporting him in all phases. Onward, Buckeyes. And Tyvis, it's an unfortunate part of our society where, I would say, like, it's just social media, right? There's great stories about social media that warm your heart when people get help when they need it, or people rally around a community because of social media. And then you have other stories where people that are nameless and faceless get to say horrible things and there's no repercussion for it. And especially spewed at a player like Jaden Fielding, where like these lines between pro and college are just getting blurred so much more than ever. But we still need to remember that he's a college athlete. And I know there's NIL and you could say they're professional. And, again, I don't want hateful things being said at pro athletes. I don't want hateful things said to anybody, to be honest with you. But, I think there's just a line being crossed here when it's college athletics. And just your side of things as a player, I'm sure even back when you guys played and you guys had a lot of great success as an Ohio State team, and social media didn't quite have the foothold that it does today. But I don't want to just sit here and say, well, that's part of the game, because I don't think it should be.
Well, back when I was banging, we still got Twitter and Instagram, and all those things was a thing for sure. I mean, heck, the guy that I sit across from put a tweet out about me not taking bad angles and all of those things. So I received some hate mail as well. Never like death threats or anything like that. I don't, I just, this fan base takes it a step too far. Obviously, you think about Ryan Day last year after losing the game and, his family being harassed. And now you think about fast forward to this year, Jaden Fielding going through it. And, what fans got to realize is as much as we wanted to win that game, it still was the game didn't hurt the Buckeyes in any way. Like, yeah, we didn't win the Big Ten this year, but like everything else is still right in front of you, and a lot of people are starting to look at these conference games as just an exhibition match because you don't really get any credit for winning it nor losing it. So I don't know why people would take this that seriously. Jaden Fielding is the guy who obviously, he's got to make those kicks, especially when it's a chip shot like that. And hopefully moving forward, he will be. But that is no reason to go out there and, wish harm on somebody like that. Like that, we got to be a lot better with that. And you just never know how that impacts a kid. Like I said, I received a lot of hate tweets and DMs and things like that when I played, if I had a bad game and stuff like that. But for me, what it did was it motivated me. You have to, in certain situations, you got to try to take the positivity approach. And how I spent it was they really believe in me, and they're holding me to a standard, and I need to meet that standard. I need to be better. Now, granted, I felt that way anyways. Like for Jaden Fielding, you don't think he feels horrible about the fact that he missed that field goal. So like, you don't really necessarily need to tell him that because he already knows that. For myself, I knew that I played bad and I knew that I had to get better. I didn't need that, but I always said that sometimes hate can be the best love. That was my motto.
Well, and that's a great point, because I would imagine that if you're a fan, you want the best for the Buckeyes. Doesn't that make Jaden Fielding feel worse going into a kick? Like, would that not make him worse off going into the college football playoff? Like, yeah, I know he wanted to make that kick, but yeah, Tyvis, like, I'm just going to believe that they're going to turn all the attention to getting it fixed or getting him in the right mental state. And I think it's like the other part of this is the sports betting side of it, where you got guys getting messaged, oh, you messed up my parlay, or, I'm talking this more on the pro side of things, but, and the players coming up like, I don't give a damn about your parlay. I don't care about what, like, I messed this game up, or like my team lost. Like, I don't care if you missed your 10-leg parlay by $1 or something, by a yard for you to win all this money. Like, that has nothing to do with it, but it just gives people it gives them the forum, obviously, to vent and to be angry, but Tyvis, like, I am a diehard, I'm a diehard Buckeyes fan, Browns fan, all that, Cavs, Blue Jackets, all of it. Through all the heartache, through all the craziness that we've ever seen, right? I've never once felt like, you know what, I really need to get online and tell Shedeur Sanders why I don't think he's very good. Or, you know what, I'm going to go send something to Donovan Mitchell because I'm mad that they lost, the other night. Like, what does that solve? When you feel better, go for a walk. Go lift some weights. Go do something else, to make yourself feel better. Like sending an online message doesn't really do it for me, but I don't know.
I have a friend that be doing that, and I'll be like, "What's wrong? Like, why do you do that? Do you really believe that they gonna take the time out of their day to come see your message like that? To me, doesn't make sense. It'd be like
It's funny because like. It's like that was the missing piece. Like, oh, if this person hadn't said this, I never would have thought of this. Or like, man, it's enlightened me to fix what is wrong. Like, that's really the missing piece to everything, right?
Well, he truly feels like he makes a difference. He'd be like, yeah, you see, they be playing better. After I done said something to them, they be stay playing, and I'd be like, bro, you crazy? Like that's what you come up with, sure.
I guess, again, if that's what makes you feel better, that's kind of what gets through it, then so be it. But, the bigger question off of this, too, Tyvis, is like, we've had some time to digest. Obviously, the Buckeyes are off for quite some time. We don't even get college football this weekend before the first round. Ohio State's got to bye. And not just talking about, like, this Jaden Fielding situation, but I think that reset from the team, like, we know Brian Hartline's leaving. I think the shock maybe is over that, kind of maybe some bad timing on that side, but that's another conversation for another day. And just kind of where the Buckeyes are at, like, I do view this as a great positive. And like you said, they still got the bye. Okay, they dropped from 1 to 2 in the seeding. It was going to be tough in the second round no matter what. But, like, I look at it as truly the positive that it is. Buckeyes get this extended break, get healthy, kind of revisit everything, and get right to go to run for another national championship here.
Yeah, I think that obviously you got all the distractions out the way. Everybody knows what it is. Now it's time to lock in. Now the question is, you got to figure out who you're playing. But to finally get that bye, to hit that reset button at this point of the season, especially after a loss, it should make those Buckeyes hungry. Like, they should come out there and want to get that revenge, want to get that loss stench off of them. So I'm excited to see whoever it is they play. I'm excited to see a good performance. And like I said, it was good that Indiana exposed some things. Exposed some of that offensive line. It exposed, some of the Julian saying things that he's got going on, and exposed the play calling in certain situations as well. So I'm glad that all of that happened, because you rather it happen now opposed to January. So, because obviously in January you lose, it's over with. So it was good that they faced some adversity. That was the biggest thing for them all year. Oh, this team has never faced any adversity. It's been just all great. They just been dominating people. I wanted to see what they do in that moment. So it was nice to get that moment, learn from that moment, because you're going to be going up against a lot of better competition as this season continues to go on. And you got to be able to make smart decisions and make big plays in those moments. And they finally got some experience, and they fell short. Hopefully they can build off of it.
And that's the thing. It's for everybody. We're talking specifically about that, but everybody that was involved with that, everybody that's got, a hand in where the Buckeyes are going to go, it's the reset that they need, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be a great run for the Buckeyes. And we got some accolades for Ohio State, because we know tomorrow night Julian Saint's a Heisman finalist, but there were a couple other guys that already finished in the top 10, because they already put out 5 through 10 in the finishing order. We'll tell you about who it was. I think you have a pretty guess who it is, but also Julian Saint's chances to take home that hardware tomorrow night. That comes up in 2 minutes right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Well, another alert for our downtown commuters. We are noticing yet another crash besides that 71 northbound direction over by 11th Avenue. All lanes still blocked out there. But the new crash happening on 670, it's that eastbound direction as you're passing Goodale Park. Right at 23, a center lane blocked, and it looks like it does involve a snowplow out there. Folks, take it nice and easy on the roads for your Friday. I'm 10 TV's Brina Albizu with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic sponsored by Hydrate Me Med Spa. Next level wellness, 5-star IV and aesthetic treatments. Look great, feel great. 4 locations in Central Ohio. Book your drip at hydratememedspa.com.
You have a chance to win a beautiful new custom home or cash prize this holiday season with a Home for the Holidays raffle. And help make wishes come true for Make-A-Wish Kids. One lucky winner will be announced on December 24th, so get your $100 ticket now. Just visit A Home for the Holidays, Columbus.org to buy your tickets. That's A Home for the Holidays, Columbus.org. Terms and conditions apply.
They're trained. They're fired up.
Let's do it.
When you need heat, they can't be beat. They're Ohio State's undefeated heating and cooling team. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Hey, it's Matty Ice. Are you in need of a dependable truck for the long winter months ahead? Well, then my buddies at McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion have just what you're looking for at the best price around. You can lease a brand new 26 Chevy Silverado, $1,500 for just $339 a month for 36 months with only $1,379 due at signing. Or you can save up to $14,000 off MSRP if you finance. Certain restrictions apply. They're just off Route 23 on 95 in Marion, or you can visit McDanielGMSuperstore.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
T-Bone and Tyvis is presented by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Sign up today at awaken180weightloss.com.
Remember the time producer Dylan said that Alabama should be in the playoffs and that Tyvis started yelling at him? Those were good times. And remember later that day when Tyvis punched him in the face? Oh, classic stuff. Here's T-Bone and Tyvis.
I don't know why Tyvis was that angry about Alabama. I mean, I'm thankfully hundreds of miles away from Tyvis, so I can say this, is that I kind of see Dylan's point. I kind of get where he's coming from.
Thank you.
Why do you see his point?
Like, it just comes back to the why is James Madison and Tulane get in, because if they played Alabama, they'd get smoked by Alabama. Like, I know that. You know that. We all know that. So why do we have to pretend like we don't know that?
No. I mean, I just
know.
Like, no. Alabama, like, to me, you shouldn't have a 3-loss team and then the last time anybody...
It's going to happen sooner rather than later.
But the last time anybody watched them play, we watched them get ran out the building.
Mm-hmm.
Why would I reward them?
I'll give you that, and I'm far from, trust me, I do not like Alabama. I don't like Alabama in any way. They're the big bad, monster, and I'm glad some people say that about Ohio State, which I get, but I'm an Ohio State fan. No, I don't like Alabama, but I just, from the interest point, like, here's the thing. The college football playoff, and T-Bone and Tyvis this morning here on The Fan. I'm Matt Fontaine in for T-Bone. And, like, the college football playoff is so afraid, and the committee is so afraid to just call a spade and call it what their interest is. Their interest is, number one, TV viewing, right? Do they want to get the actual national champion? Sure. Do they want to have the best team hoist the trophy? Sure. That makes it feel good. Let's call it what it is. Everybody wants TV viewing. Now, could I give you a 2 out of 100 chance that you get a good game from Tulane and James Madison, and they actually show up and try to cover, and not even like a 21-point spread. I'm talking about like a game. Sure, that might happen, and you might sit there and tell me, well, if you left them out, you wouldn't have had any of it. Give me one of them. Give me one. I don't need all of them. I don't need more than one. Just give me one. And is there a chance that Tulane could take down Ole Miss? Is there a chance James Madison give Oregon a game? Possibly, but I don't think so. Do I have a better feeling that Alabama would give Ole Miss a good game or give Oregon a game? I do, and that's as a viewing fan. That's all I really. If it's not the Buckeyes, I just want good football games. Like Miami, Texas A&M. I don't really have a rooting interest. I just want to sit down at noon on that Saturday and watch a good football game. That's it.
I mean, that will be a good football game, so I will give you that for sure.
Yes.
But, like, you know what? In all honesty, if we really want to be technical, there's only about a good 5 teams that can win it all. So really, if we really want to be honest, the other 7 is really irrelevant because I feel like every year in college football, there's only about 5 teams that realistically can win the whole thing. The other 7 is just for show. Like, so to me, that's why they are okay with putting Tulane and James Madison because they're not going to win anyways. Those teams those teams don't have a chance anyway. Ole Miss is probably not going to win anyways. Alabama, Oklahoma is probably not going to win anyways. So realistically, out of the 1 through 5 is like, all right, one of the champions is probably going to come out of them anyways. Yes, I know Ohio State was what they were last year and they pulled it off and all those things, but we all know that team was very talented and everybody all year kept saying this is the most talented roster in college football, and they said even in Ohio State history. So with that being said, you always knew they had a chance. But when you look at things this year, like the champion's probably coming out of one of them top 5 spots.
Well, speaking of Ohio State, I think this is one of the most incredible things that I've seen in quite some time. And it's not like it's the first time that it's happened, but Ohio State finishes with 3 players in the top 10 of the Heisman voting. So we know the ceremony is tomorrow night. Julian Sain is a finalist with Pavia Mendoza and Jeremiah Love. We'll talk about Sain's chances in a minute, Tyvis, but it came out yesterday from the Heisman Trust 5 through 10. Caleb Downs came in 9th, and Jeremiah Smith came in 6th. The other players at 5 was Jacob Rodriguez, the linebacker from Texas Tech, very good. Gunnar Stockton, the quarterback at Georgia, was 7. Trinidad Chambliss, quarterback from Ole Miss, is at 8. Caleb Downs at 9, and then Haynes King from Georgia Tech. Well, I'm glad he got a little bit of love because I really enjoyed watching his career, at Georgia Tech. So we know Sain's a finalist. I mean, Tyvis, that just tells you everything you know about this Ohio State team. And the fact that, yeah, I know it's a quarterback award, but the fact that you even had a receiver, then you had a defensive player in the top 10 as well. I just, this Buckeye roster is just completely loaded. And those are their 3 best players in Jeremiah Smith, Caleb Downs, and Julian Sain.
Darvell Reese could have got some love.
That's right.
He could have got some love.
I did skip that Darvell.
I'm out here. I'm reaching for everything now. No, I think that, Caleb, that was one of his goals anyways. He always felt that he was good enough to win the Heisman. That's why he was talking about trying to play some running back and stuff like that when they first recruited him, when he got into the portal and things like that. So it's interesting. You could tell that he's probably gave up on that because even last year he was doing some returning. Obviously, you think about the big punt return against Indiana. I don't even think he's been in the return game this year. So he's probably just locked in on just strictly the defensive side of the ball. And for him to still be a top 10 candidate with just giving up return and not even thinking about playing offense at all, like it just shows you how special of a player it is. I was talking to Zach Jackson yesterday and we were talking about the Browns and I was like, how would you feel if the Browns took Caleb Downs with the 4th pick? And he said, the thing is, it would be it'd be an uproar, but like it'd be one of those ones where fans would be like, well, he is that good though. He is really good. So I know we need offense and stuff like that, but it's interesting. He's a really good player and he's gonna do some special things on the next level wherever he goes.
And that's the thing, best player available. Like, there's a world that Caleb Downs is the best. I know Arvell Reese for a lot of people is number 1, on their big boards and things like that. But you talk about how good Caleb Downs is, 100%. All right, here's your I don't want to say trivia because I don't want to make you guess in this time because it's really hard. But teams that have had 3 players finish in the Heisman top 10 in one season. The last team to do it, Alabama in 2020. Devontae Smith, who won it, but then Mac Jones and Najee Harris in 2020. But here it is, Tyvis. The last team to do it before that, 1973, the Ohio State University. Ohio State's done it now 3 different times, in 1969 and 1973. And then now in 2025 had 3 players finish in the top 10 for the Heisman voting here. And I'm pulling this up quick because I want to see the 1973 Heisman voting here. Because I want to see who the Ohio State players were. So John Capitelli of Penn State won it. It was John Hicks who finished 2nd. Archie was 5th. And Randy Grashier finished in 6th as the linebacker. So there you go.
Well, we could have had it in 15, if I got snubbed.
Yeah?
I got snubbed.
You did. Did you get any votes? Did they tell you if you got any votes?
Nah, I didn't get.
No?
didn't make enough plays. I dropped a lot of interceptions that year, which is shocking. Very shocking. I was disappointed. I had to go to Vine Bell Academy. That's what he would tell me when I dropped the pick. You know what? We gonna go to VBA, meaning that after practice we gonna get on them jug machines and get some passes.
Dylan. That's a promo. Tyvis would have won the Heisman if he caught interceptions.
I'll write it down. Thank you.
That easy. Write it down. You get the Heisman from us, Tyvis. I would have voted for it.
I appreciate that.
Like how many Heisman voters aren't there? Are there like thousands?
Yeah, at least hundreds.
I have no idea. I have no idea.
I'm gonna hang on. How many Heisman voters are there?
We have two that work here.
930.
We got two.
Right. I know Bo votes. Yeah.
Bo and research.
Oh yeah, I forgot Bo.
Yeah. That's right. There's 930 Heisman Trophy voters consisting of 870 media members, and then the 59 living Heisman winners. They're not required to vote, and then there's one collective fan vote. Who, by the way, Rodriguez, the linebacker from Texas Tech, he got the fan vote. So we got 1 out of 930. So congratulations to him. But 870. So it sounds like it's not all that hard to get. I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. I'll have to ask Bo one day because he told me, he's like, I applied and I got it a long time ago. And then I think it's like a certificate. As long as you keep it up, they let you keep voting.
I don't want it because then that would imply that I'm a media member and
you're already there.
I'm not that. So
you're there already.
Therefore, I don't want it.
You do too many shows, Tyvis, to not be a media member. And by the way, I don't even know if you know this. I'll be doing a Bronze preview show with you in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I know that.
Come down. So you do too many. Oh, you do know. Good. So I'll talk. You're on too many shows, man. Tyvis is on too many shows to not be a media member.
You're the biggest media member here right now.
That's
Tyvis.
not true.
You do more shows than me and Fontana combined, probably.
That's not true.
Yes.
I'm in the off season.
We're not there yet. Not there just yet, but we'll get there soon. Well, speaking of college football, this is such an interesting kind of shift for scheduling because Notre Dame, if you haven't seen, they have a clause for them to make the college football playoff next year. If they're in the top 12 of the college football rankings at the end of the year, they're guaranteed a spot. Even with expansion, even with everything going on, they have a clause written in. Other athletic directors and other schools, they're taking the power into themselves to say, we're going to teach Notre Dame a lesson. That story more coming up. You're listening to The Fan this morning here on T-Bone and Tyvis.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning to you. A big update if you were traveling downtown. All lanes are officially back open after a huge crash on 71 in that northbound direction right at 11th Avenue. The exit lane, though, is still blocked out there, so do be mindful. Crew members are out and about this morning. We are still noticing some really big backups, though, so to avoid it, take this detour 71 northbound over to 670 in that eastbound direction instead. Once there, get off at Leonard Avenue, that exit to East 5th Avenue, over to Joyce Avenue northbound, up to 17th Avenue, and hey, back on 71 in that northbound direction. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Dormar, you're kind of hero.
When your furnace or air conditioner is broke, we come out that same day. Dormar, home the Tin Man.
Are you tired of paying retail prices? Then you've got to check out ColumbusAuctions.com, the online auction with pickup right here in Columbus, specializing in overstock products. Bidding starts at just $5. That's right, for only $5, you could score something that retails for $100. Most items come from places like Amazon, Lowe's, and Walmart, and if the listing is wrong or the item's broken, they'll give you a full refund. Plus, ColumbusAuctions.com offers a 14-day pickup. If you love deals on just about anything, try the new way to shop in Columbus at ColumbusAuctions.com.
Okay, Santa, pre-flight checklist time. Nice list?
Check.
Naughty list?
Check.
Meyer shopping list?
Oh, Blitzens berries.
All good. I've got the Meyer app right here. Okay, let's see. Sugar, spice?
Gingerbread is nice.
Candy, ham, crackers? Boy, Meyer has fa-la-la-la low prices on it all.
And a few dozen cookies, just to be safe.
Good call, big guy. Order sent.
Just in the St. Nick of time.
Bring more good to life with the seasonal savings at Meijer.
Listen up, football fans. You won't want to miss this. Right now, new Bet365 customers bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. So you could turn that $150 into something bigger when you bet on money lines, spreads, totals, and player props.
$150 in bonus bets when new customers bet $5. I know where I'm going to bet from now on. Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Terms and conditions apply. In-app only.
Hey Columbus, Retail Rush is celebrating our grand opening. Designed with you in mind, Retail Rush offers great deals on name brand products at up to 90% off retail prices with fast, easy pickup that fits your schedule. Bid on great deals at Retail Rush for products like home decor, lawn equipment, and much more. Sign up now at retailrush.com, start browsing, and bid now. Retail Rush. Deals made easy. Bid now at retailrush.com.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Visit the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway near the Polaris Mall or on Stringtown Road in Grove City. Walk-ins are always welcome.
Timmy Hall here, proud to be back for my 4th year supporting Nationwide Children's Hospital and Light Up the Lawn, Light Up a Life. The holidays can be tough for kids and families spending it in the hospital. So now through December 31st, more than 100 giant illuminated butterflies will shine on the hospital lawn, each one sparkling to life with every single donation. When patients see those butterflies glow, they'll know their community's thinking of them, sending waves of hope and joy. So let's do this together. Let's light up the lawn and light up a life. Donate now at nationwidechildrens.org/give.
Dormar! Dormar! You're kind of hero!
They're trained. They're fired up.
Let's do it.
When you need heat, they can't be beat. They're Ohio State's undefeated heating and cooling team. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Can't get enough of your favorite fan content? Good news, we're on all the digitals. Follow 971 The Fan on X, Facebook, YouTube, The Talk, and Gram. Your digital home for endless shenanigans. The Fan.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Airflow Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Every time Tyvis laughs, take a drink. Just kidding. You'd be dead in 30 seconds. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
We know the powers that run college football, the teams, the Blue Bloods, and it's college basketball, but Notre Dame is certainly one of them. And they tried to swing their weight a little bit with this college football playoff without them being in a conference. They get left out this year. They got a little clause in the contract, and there's some ADs out there that say, yeah, that might be written in, but doesn't mean we're going to play a game with you. T-Bone and Tyvis, Matt Fontaine for T-Bone. He, of course, is Tyvis' pal. So this story comes out, Tyvis, that Notre Dame had this clause written into this college football contract that if they finished in the top 12 in the final college football playoff rankings that come out, that they're guaranteed a spot. Even if there's another team that is ahead of them and they get put in, if they're in the top 12, they jump them. Basically to keep from what happened in, I don't want to say this year, but they're not in a conference. They don't play in a conference championship. So they want to seat at the table. And I think the easiest answer for a lot of people would be what? Well, then join a conference, man. Everybody's been asking you for years if you're going to join a conference. You don't want to because of the TV contract. Okay, fine. That's the world that you want to live in. But now some ADs are taking it in their own hands because a report out from Newsweek that there are other programs that are coming out and saying, we're not going to schedule you then. Like, you want to have this rule in that's so different from anybody else that you get a little separate part of this. That's fine, but comes to scheduling out of conference games, Dan Moore's reporting that programs are threatening to freeze out Notre Dame from future scheduling opportunities after they learned about this special agreement. Tyvis, I think there's so many things interesting. Number one, that they didn't know about this, that this got slipped in and no other schools knew about it. But then also that now these other schools are going to take it into their own hands and say, fine, if that's that's how Notre Dame gets to live, then we're not going to play them in the future.
Well, that is very interesting because I remember Bo saying that a couple of years ago, like if they really wanted to fix it, just don't schedule them. And you go look at their you go look at their schedule. They do play I think they play like 3 or 4 Big Ten teams next year. So if they want to freeze them out after that, I'm all for that for making somebody join a conference. Like you need to be held on the same playing field as everybody else. So I don't have a problem with that. I get Notre Dame want to be independent and they want to do their thing. But like, this is the thing, like and I was just talking to Sherrone about this yesterday. I was just telling him, like, I don't know why Notre Dame believes like they're back in like the 80s or something. Like those right. days are gone. Like they have not been dominant since I've been alive, pretty much. Like to me, like you see, they like every other school. Like they have a year where they're good. Like last year, they were good. They made it to the championship. They lost. 2012 was the first year that I can think of where they actually was good. They made it to the championship. They lost. So like, it's not like they just this team that's going out there and just winning all of these championships or anything like that. So I don't understand why they feel like they are big dogs in this game. Like that, they have not. Until you win a title, you can't necessarily claim that at all. So for me, you need to be on the same level that everybody else is on. Like they forced the SEC to play 9 conference games. Yep. Make Notre Dame join a conference. Like, it is what it is.
I've never been a make Notre Dame join a conference guy. I felt like that's their prerogative, their problem. But one of my favorite sayings is play stupid games, win stupid prizes. They decided not to be in a conference. Them not being in a conference is what cost them this year. I'm not saying that they need to join a conference because of that, but you decided not to be in a conference. Let's say they would join the ACC because they already play 5 ACC games. If they are in the ACC this year, they're playing in the ACC championship game, and they're probably dog walking whoever they're playing. And this isn't even a conversation. So if you want to be the ones that are not in a conference, then you have to deal with what comes with not being in a conference. And they saw that this year.
And I'll give you guys, even on top of that, like Texas is in a conference and they didn't get to go. Like, it comes back to obviously if you got to win your games and who you play and things like that. But it is, I don't want to say cut your nose off to spite your face, because Notre Dame will, it's hard because Tyvis, I think you're right. Like, this isn't the same Notre Dame teams of the past where you just put them in because they're Notre Dame and they're a draw. Like, if their schedule is weak, they're not going to put them in. They could go 12-0. But if they're just beating up on, no offense to MAC schools, and they're beating the smaller teams and things like that because nobody wants to schedule them, then yeah, it's going to be really hard for the committee to sit there and say that they deserve it. And with all the money getting thrown around, with eventually getting to a point that college football, I think, will become conferenceless, that nobody's going to be in a conference and everybody's just going to play everybody because everybody makes the college football playoff, it's going to become the NFL. It is going to become the NFL, where you have division games that you do, you play those and those are important, but then you eventually play everybody. And that's what it's going to become. And I think it's going to be good for college football. Again, call it for what it is. Call it that there are 50 teams that are worth it. Schedule those teams in the Power 5 group, if you will, and then the group of 5, and everybody rotates through and plays everybody, and everybody gets a fair shot at the college football playoff. That's where we're heading. So, like, is Notre Dame maybe ahead of the curve on that? Sure. But we're not there yet, so sorry, that's the world that we live in. Join a conference or wait this out for a couple more years until all the conferences are dissolved.
Or they better they better hope it go to 16. They go to 16.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, they will.
Or 24, if they get to that, then,
don't do that.
It doesn't matter. But, like, if they going to continue to stay at 12, they're going to have to play ball. And it's going to be interesting because I haven't really heard a lot of the 16 talk anymore, the 16-24 talk as of lately.
Well, they expanded that deadline to do it. It was supposed to be sometime earlier this month, so they are trying to buy themselves time to probably do so.
I think this year is going to be a big teller on that, because you do have, because in the past when it was 4, like when Cincinnati made it, there were people like, oh man, this is terrible, and then they actually put up a good fight, and people like, okay, maybe we can open this. Now that you've had the rapid expansion, you went so fast, we have 1 year of it. I don't think you can make any decision based off of 1 year, right? Because what did they do? They had 1 year and they said, okay, we're getting rid of the conference automatic champion buys because you saw how much that messed up. Okay, so now let's get a primer. Let's get a view on how this season goes with some changes. And then I actually think they're trying to slow things down here, which is good, before they rushed everything else. But, Tyvis, I'm kind of with you. Like, I don't think more does not solve this problem to me. Instantly just slapping it down and saying, well, more teams fixes it. I don't. I think it's too many as it is. Obviously, you know where I stand with Tulane and James Madison, but I think you want to incentivize the buys. That's why I think 12 is pretty perfect. I think 12 is pretty good.
8.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with that because it's like, I want to incentivize these teams with the buys, but again, after what we saw last year, Tabs, you probably speak on this better than me. Like, is the buy really an incentive?
No, because they went 0-4.
Yeah,
Right,
but that was with Boise State and Arizona State getting buys.
Yeah.
That was the problem.
Georgia had a
Yes,
bye.
I understand, but this year you have 4 strong teams getting a bye versus last year it was 2 strong teams that got a bye.
Well, that's because they reseeded the thing.
Right, which was the right thing to do.
Right. They changed it. They got it right. Here we are. All right, Friday, you know where we're at. Weekend coming up. We got the best bets for the weekend on the football side of things. We'll get to that coming up right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Well, unfortunately, the roads are not getting any better downtown. We are noticing yet another crash on our roadways. This time around, it's happening on 670. It's that eastbound direction at 23 and over by Goodale Park. The 2 left lanes are currently blocked out there after that incident. Crew members on scene, so be patient and take it nice and slow. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Get a holiday loan and choose loan amounts from $1,000 to $5,000. Visit bmifcu.org/holiday loan for details.
Bob Dylan, The Rough and Rowdy Ways Tour. April 9th, Palace Theater. Tickets on sale Friday at 10 a.m. at bobdylan.com. Bob Dylan, live on stage. Show will start promptly at 8 p.m.
What's better than giving a gift everyone wants? Getting free gas and groceries by earning perks on gift cards purchased at Giant Eagle Market District and GetGo. Choose from hundreds of gift cards to make everyone merry at Giant Eagle Market District and GetGo.
Toyotathon is on at Tansky Sawmill Toyota. With inventory on the lot and fresh inventory rolling in daily, now is the time to treat yourself before the holidays. Visit TanskySawmillToyota.com for Toyotathon specials or visit our festive showroom on the corner of Sawmill and 161 in Dublin. And when you think Toyota, think Tansky.
Think Toyota. Think Tansky. Think Tansky.
Shopping this time of year can be stressful, but when you've got a guy, everything gets a little easier. Meet my guy, Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers.
Hey, common man.
Hitting anyone's car today, Bob?
Not yet.
If you're popping the question this holiday season, you'd be an absolute fool not to see Bob at Worthington Jewelers. The store is crowded all the time. Why? Because they give you the best price and service possible, and then people keep coming back.
I'm your guy.
Worthington Jewelers on High Street in Worthington. WorthingtonJewelers.com, where Columbus gets engaged.
Skyline's Mac and Cheese 3-Way is back. This time with white cheddar cheese and creamy cavatappi pasta. Try a Mac and Cheese 3-Way with Skyline's original chili or their new chicken chili at participating Skyline locations for a limited time.
The following radio theater is brought to you by Columbus Men's Clinic.
Hey, Dad, you want to play football?
No, buddy.
All right.
Pops, want to work out? Maybe later.
Hey, kids are in bed. What you up to?
Tomorrow?
You've got one life, and it's too short for not nows, maybe laters, and tomorrows. If you have symptoms of ED and low T, your family, friends, and even your career has already been affected. Book your discreet evaluation at Columbus Men's Clinic and turn your tomorrows into
today.
Yes! Touchdown!
Come on, one more, Dad. Today! Push, Dad. One more. Come on, push.
Hey, kids are in bed. What you up to?
Tonight.
Call 614-300-7400 or book now in under 30 seconds at columbusmensclinic.com. Columbus Men's Clinic, for every man in every season of life.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
'Tis the season for making memories. Give the gift of more time together at Dick's House of Sport and join us for family fun events all season long. Plus, climb a rock wall, test the multi-sport cage, and perfect your swing in a golf simulator. And shop the widest selection of the hottest brands like Nike, FP Movement, Adidas, Carhartt, UGG, and Stanley. Unforgettable moments start here at Dick's House of Sport. Visit dicks.com/House of Sport to see what's happening this season.
I once read a story about a few trees that each dreamed of becoming something amazing. The first tree dreamed of becoming a priceless treasure chest. The second, a great royal ship. And the third, a tree so tall it would point to heaven. As fate would have it, the first tree did not become the treasure chest, but rather a simple manger used for feeding animals. Until one silent night when it found itself holding the greatest treasure the world would ever know. The second tree did not become a great ship for a king, but only a simple fishing boat. Until one day it carried the King of Kings that would calm the storm. And lastly, the third tree did not grow into the heavens, but rather had a destiny as a worn-out cross, and that cross held God's sacrifice for humanity so that all would be saved. Hi, it's Steve Lindsay, and it's incredible to know that whether this year went according to our plans and dreams, or whether everything seemed to be falling apart, we have a Jesus Christ who can use us no matter what our failures, our sins, or past are to still do incredible things. Merry Christmas from the Lindsay Automotive family.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars, Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good morning, I'm Dylan Gonzalez. The Columbus Blue Jackets were on home ice last night hosting the Ottawa Senators at Nationwide Arena. The Jackets got off to a horrible start, giving up 3 unanswered goals to begin the game. The CBJ were unable to recover and lost by a final of 6-3. Thursday Night Football last night featured an NFC South divisional matchup between the Atlanta Falcons and Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The game came down to a last-minute drive where Falcons kicker Zane Gonzalez hit a 43-yard field goal with time expiring to win the game and upset the Buccaneers 29-28. And finally, former Michigan coach Sherrone Moore still remains in custody and is expected to appear in court for arraignment later today. This update was sponsored by the Waterworks and Header Plumbing, Drain, Heating, and Cooling. Together to serve you better. Scheduled today at thewaterworks.com. Breaking sports news when it happens right here on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
2 men with 5 combined offspring. None of them have penises. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
Tri-State Men's Health are experts in treating low testosterone and other men's sexual health conditions. They successfully treated many men for low T, and men have seen the amazing difference that those treatments can make in their life. If you're a guy and you're suffering from low T, you need to go see my guys at Tri-State Men's Health. How do you know? Well, it starts in your early to mid-30s. Guys start losing 2 to 3% of their testosterone production every year. It happens gradually, and before you know it, you just ain't the same guy that you were in your 20s and your 30s. Some of these symptoms could be decreasing libido, putting on weight, less productive at the gym, poor sleep patterns, or just sad and depressed. If you are feeling any of these things, go to tristatemenshealth.com and take their low T quiz. It's a simple 10-question quiz with yes or no answers. It takes about 2 minutes to get it done. After that, you want to schedule a consult with Tri-State Men's Health where they'll do your work and have your lab results within 30 minutes. A licensed medical provider will review the results with you and discuss your options, and you will make the decision together with their medical team. The cost of the appointment is $99, which includes a medical consult, T and PSA tests, and if you sign up for testosterone treatment the day of your appointment, your visit is free. There are 6 locations, 2 of them located right here in Columbus. One is in Hilliard, the other one's in Westerville. Call them today at 800-900-9654 or visit tristatemenshealth.com.
Gambling is a risky proposition, especially when you listen to these guys. Here's your best bets for the weekend.
All right, here we go. Best bets for the weekend. No college action unless you want to bet Army-Navy. Like, Tyvis, is that sacrilegious to bet on the Army-Navy game? Like, these people are defending our country. I guess they're defending the right for us to be degenerate sports gamblers, so we appreciate them and thank them for their services for me to allow to sit here and be a degenerate. But, I don't know, it feels weird betting on the Army-Navy game.
No, I don't. It feels right. It feels American.
That's right. Take that. Yeah, love it. That's right, because we have the right to do it in this country. So here we go. All right, best bets. I'm going to stick on the NFL side of things, and I got a couple bets that I really like. I'm going to start with this big AFC North battle between the Ravens and the Bengals. You say, Mo, big? What do you mean? Like, the Bengals are 4-9. They get Joe Burrow back. This game is at home, and Tyvis, with all the kind of drama this week, we'll hear from Jamar Chase coming up. You know, we know what Joe Burrow has said. I'm going to take the Bengals to cover in this game, plus 2.5. Baltimore's only covered once in their last 5 games. They do own Cincinnati. They've covered 5 out of their last 7 games against the Bengals on the Ravens side of things. It's Cincinnati. I mean, you could throw it out the window because they haven't had Joe Burrow. But I'm going to take him. You're getting 2.5 on that. They're at home as a dog. I'm not saying the Ravens are playing all that good. I really felt like the Steelers were going to beat them last week like they did. I think this would be a close game. I think Burrow's going to come out and light it up against, I think, a little bit of a suspect defense for the Ravens. Give me the Bengals plus the 2.5 this weekend.
Well, I have to listen to the expert across the glass, and he says when you see a disgusting line, you have to take it. You have to take it. And right now, I'm looking at the Colts and the Seahawks. It's the Seahawks are minus 13.5. It's so disgusting that I have to take the Colts in the 13.5 points.
Tyvis, I would normally like that pick, but I think the exception is when one of the teams gets a 44-year-old quarterback that hasn't played over 1,000 days.
Not starting.
So Riley Leonard is getting the start?
I believe so. I feel like he's been practicing this week.
Okay.
He hurt his PCL. There was a great tweet that go, don't forget that they had to sign Phillip Rivers because Anthony Richardson snapped a workout band and fractured his orbital bone. That's the whole reason why because man, Anthony Richardson's been on the IR. He was working out. He snapped a workout band and hit him in the face and broke his orbital bone. That's why Phillip Rivers is on the Colts. But at times I get where you're going, and on that you're just hoping that Jonathan Taylor just grinds that out and they lose by 11, they lose by 13 or something like that. I get it. I also see where Dylan's coming from because even when Daniel Jones was in there, there's a flip to be said because like Daniel Jones over the last month has been bad. Like even I know the femur injury, which is on the other side, the other leg that he tore the Achilles on. I'm sure it's all related and all that. But even when he was in there, he was not playing all that well. So I'm a little concerned about the Colts there, but I see where you're going there. You're just hoping that, Jonathan Taylor can go ahead and just run this. All right, another game. I'm going to go to the NFC side of things, and I love this game even more after what happened last night. Give me the Panthers minus 2.5 on the road to face the New Orleans Saints. So number one, you say, well, New Orleans, they just beat the Buccaneers. How crazy? Like, are they good? Well, did you watch that Buccaneers team last night? Maybe not. So I'm going to buy that New Orleans isn't quite all that. But Tyvis, I'm also going to subscribe now. This is Carolina's division to lose. They have a half-game lead going into Sunday. They win, it becomes that full game. I never thought I'd be saying, well, I'm sitting here believing in Bryce Young, and I still don't necessarily because Carolina's offense is still just 25th in passing yards. They don't put up all these points or anything like that, but they've just found their way to scrap out some wins here. And the most shocking thing, Carolina's 8-4 against the spread their last 12 games. So they cover. It is a New Orleans team that's a little spicy, but if it's 2.5, give me the Panthers to cover that because now they see this division being wide open and there's, basically for the taking at this point.
Them division games is tricky. I'm a little scared of those. Dylan, you got one?
Yes. I don't think the Jacksonville Jaguars should be 13.5-point favorites over anybody.
I saw that
even if it is the Jets.
They beat the Colts by 17.
I do not care. They should not be 13.5-point favorites against any other NFL team. So give me the Jets plus 13.5.
I like that pick. I thought about it. All right, I'm gonna go Monday night. Then I'm gonna go the Dolphins.
I did like this.
The Dolphins, Steelers, Pittsburgh -3. They secondary has been a little tricky this year when it comes to the pass defense. The steel curtain ain't been that. Then you got T.J. Watt dealing with some lung things. Give me the Dolphins +3. I think that the Dolphins they every now and again they shock you with a good performance. So I'm hoping Monday night the world is watching. They not about to get embarrassed like that in front of everybody.
No, I like it.
I don't know if.
Go ahead, Matt.
Go ahead, Dylan.
I was going to give my second pick, so go ahead if you have something to say about that.
Real quick on that game. I would have gone, like, Miami sneakily is somehow in this. Like, give Mike McDaniel credit. And now there's some reports coming out that the new GM might actually want to keep Mike McDaniel around. You know, that Steelers game, I get where you're coming, Tyvis, because I was so ready to, like, think, okay, here comes that Pat and Mike Tomlin late season. They're out of it, but somehow squeak their way in, type of run. And on that, but I think the TJ Watt thing does change everything. We haven't, he's in the hospital. We'll get to this a little bit later when we go around the league, but like, he's in the hospital. As far as I know, they've not said exactly what it is outside of he has a lung issue. That's scary. Who knows what that could have been or what it is. So I kind of get where you're at. That is a dicey game, like where I actually picked it on my weekly show, but the more I think about it, I might just stay away from that game. All right, Dylan, you got one last pick, please.
Yes, I'm going with Bills -1.5. I said earlier this week, I believe that there's levels to this when it comes to the NFL, and I don't think the Patriots have really gone through the process yet. I really think not only the Bills are going to win this game, but I think they're going to end up catching the Patriots in the AFC East. So I'm actually not going to bet this spread. I'm actually going to bet Bills to win the AFC while they're down 2 games. But for this game, give me Bills -1.5.
That's bold.
I think there's an element that the Patriots coming off the bye, Tyvis, could be something where like they were rolling, right? They were on a 10-game win streak or whatever it is, and they've just been rolling. And now they hit the bye, like I wonder if that kind of maybe cost them a little momentum going into this game.
People just don't want to believe that they are for real. I guess. I guess we go see.
I think they're for real enough to make the playoffs. I don't think they're for real enough to make any noise in year one of Vrabel and really the first year of Drake May being a bona fide top 10 quarterback. I think, like I said, there's levels to it.
MVP behind.
Yeah, Stafford's the runaway favorite, but Drake's second, I believe.
I like it.
Well, and not to poke another hole in the Patriots, but they also played a not really that hard schedule because they didn't win the division. And everybody's trying. I'm a believer, Tyvis. I'm a believer. I think they're good. I really like Drake May, but they benefited from a nice, easy schedule over there for the New England Patriots. Well, speaking of it, it's not been easy for my Jackets, man. It doesn't matter what the schedule is. Boy, I'm frustrated. Jess Remote is going to join us next. Of course, Jackets Insider. We got to talk Elvis. We got to talk. I don't know what's going on right now with my Blue Jackets. So we'll talk to Jeff. We'll try to get some answers. That all comes your way next. This is The Fan, T-Bone and Tyvis.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Well, happening downtown right now, crew members are still on scene of an incident, really on 670. It's that eastbound direction at 23, where not one, but 2 left lanes are currently blocked out there. Also down when it comes to slowdowns at 15 miles per hour, folks. Take it nice and easy and nice and slow. And know that once you're passing the crash, it gets a lot better out there. So just, again, take your time. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Green & Sons. Family owned and operated for over 45 years. Green & Sons will help you find your next Kubota tractor. Located in Mount Sterling and north of Marysville. And online at greenandsons.com.
Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
Hi, this is Max with Buckeye Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. We want to wish the community, our clients, and our team a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. We're incredibly thankful to serve such a great community with such an amazing team. It's an absolute pleasure. Thank you for being you. And when you need us,
call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
Great Lakes Hyundai. The savings are so good.
These savings
things are so good. Right now, get low lease payments on every model, like a new 2026 Elantra SE for just $119 a month for 24 months. Plus, get owner assurance and America's best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. Go now. Columbus or Dublin or glakeshyundai.com. With approved credit, $39.95 down plus taxes, fees, first month payment, 12 miles per year, ends 1/2/26.
Does your vehicle need maintenance, but you don't have time? Krieger Ford's got you covered. Enjoy our convenient pickup and delivery service, or we come to you with our mobile service van. It's fast, easy, and hassle-free. Schedule your appointment today only at KriegerFord.com.
Picture it, your holiday table, the family cooking together, the scent of golden brown bread, rosemary from roasted potatoes, and a salad so crisp it snaps. This season at Kroger, make the moments that matter possible with quality that's affordable in every aisle. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Save big on Kroger brand Hickory smoked spiral bone and ham. Just 89 cents a pound with your card and additional $25 purchase. Limit 2. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Bet365 is paying out before the final whistle.
Check out Bet365's unrivaled early payout offer. When you bet on a team to win and they take a 17-point lead, you get paid no matter the final score. Forget the final whistle and start counting that cash. Hold up. You get early payout on parlays, too.
Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply.
From moving compliance targets to shifting regulations, the pressure to stabilize is growing. At Plant Moran, we help you meet complexity with confidence. We cut through the noise and give you the tools to act, ground your planning in insights, and tailored tax strategies from senior specialists so the next step you take is on solid footing. Don't chase stability, lead with it. Plant Moran. Stability, period.
Skyline's mac and cheese 3-way is back. This time with white cheddar cheese and creamy cavatappi pasta. Try a mac and cheese 3-way with Skyline's original chili or their new chicken chili at participating Skyline locations for a limited time.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-472-2000, 614-472-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-472-2000, 614-472-2000. And
now, Public Education Matters with Ohio Education Association President Jeff Wensing.
As educators, we are called to this profession by a singular purpose, an unwavering commitment to our students' learning, well-being, and potential. That means using our united voice to stand up for the fully funded supports and resources our students need to succeed. Please stand with us.
Public Education Matters, brought to you by the Ohio Education Association.
What's the best way to make sure you don't miss any of your favorite fan shows? Oh no. Download the Fan app, silly.
Ah, damn it, I knew that.
App Store, Google Play, or just scream right at your phone. Psst, you can also listen to Buckeye games. Do it now. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Hey there, Central Ohio. I'm Weather Impact Meteorologist Michael Behrens with your latest forecast. We're looking at some snow chance early this morning, but most of it will stay south of Columbus. Temperatures in the mid-30s this afternoon with some sunshine poking through. We'll be down into the upper 20s tonight with heavy snow expected Saturday. 10 TV Weather Impact Alert Day for the second half of the day as multiple inches of snowfall are expected to fall. That's your latest 10 Weather Impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
Let's see. High school, Buckeyes, Browns, kids in the retention pond. It must be Football Friday.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Football is good. The Fan. T-Bone and Tyvis present Talking Jackets. Talking Jackets.
There's a score! A turnover by the Islanders and Adam Fantilli. One more time. Puts it in the net.
Your look inside the world of the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Sponsored by Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING. When you need a company you can trust.
Well, it's been a rough
show for my Jackets lately, and it's been 8 of their last 10 that they've fallen in. It's T-Bone and Tyvis, Matt Fontaine in for T-Bone this morning, and of course we bring in the great Jeff Sabota. You can follow him on Twitter at Jackets Insider. And Jeff, I'm so appreciative to be able to talk to you this morning, man, but it's like, you know, I'm a diehard Jackets fan, been my whole life, and this stretch right now is so hard, especially when it comes to like Elvis Merzlikins. Is it just easy as saying, and I know his contract, I know what he signed, like, is it just the time to give Jet Greaves this job 100% and stop the split? What can the Jackets do to get Elvis Merzlikins back on page, man?
Yeah, that is a great question, and I guess you could say it's kind of the $5 million question right now, because that's what his contract is. You know, this year and next year still left on it, and there's no getting around the fact that the last 3 games have been a struggle for Elvis. And, you know, that's something, you know, Jet Greaves, I think, has kind of, you know, staked his claim to being the number one goalie, just as far as, you know, how many games he has played this year and has played more games. You know, they were splitting at the start of the year, and then Jet has kind of taken over the top spot. But, I mean, you've got to have 2 goalies that can play at the NHL level. And then Elvis, you know, played in New Jersey last Monday, played fairly well, came back and got a couple starts and struggled. And then last night doesn't get out of the first period. And, you know, you see this happen at the NHL level sometimes. I mean, you know, Jacob Markstrom in New Jersey is, you know, same situation last night where he doesn't get out of the first. You know, the players are too good at the NHL level that if you're a goalie and you're just not quite on your game, it's going to be tough to make saves, and the numbers are not going to be good. But that's where he is right now. And, you know, you as a goalie, you want to play your way out of it. But, you know, when you're a team that's struggling to get wins, as you said, you know, pointed out where the Jackets are at right now, you know, it's kind of tough to find that time to give a guy the opportunity to play out of it. And so it is something they've got to figure out because you say the season is, you know, you're almost at the halfway point. You're not where you want to be in the standings. It's been a struggle recently, and it's a tough spot to be in because you've got to start winning hockey games, and you've got a goalie that, you know, he's not going to, you know, be as bad as the numbers have been the last couple games for a long time. I mean, this is an NHL goalie for a reason, but there's no doubt that he's struggling right now, and it's hard to find the answer when you're in midseason and you've got to win some games. So they've got to figure it out, but it's a tough spot to be in right now.
Jeff, that first period was brutal. It was brutal. Outside of Elvis, the defense was just not great. But the second period, it was they brought a lot of life back. And, you know, I was like kind of thinking like, okay, maybe they could rally behind this. What was the biggest difference you seen outside of the goalie? What was the biggest difference you seen from period 1 and period 2?
Yeah, I mean, you look at the way they played most of the second period. They had the puck, which is a good sign, you know. So, you know, they found their energy. They had the puck. They were attacking. You know, they get a power play goal, which is important. At the NHL level, if you take advantage of special teams, you have a much better chance of winning games. You know, they found their game there for good stretches of the second period. And so, you know, it's in there. I mean, we've seen this throughout the year, even though they've struggled to get wins at times, is that it's just consistency that has been the biggest issue for this team all year. And it kind of reared its ugly head in third periods, you know, at the start of the season. But we've seen them play. I mean, there's been a handful of games, not many, but, you know, 2 or 3 where they've just kind of not had it. But by and large, you know, they've shown up and worked hard. And they've been able to put together good minutes, but they just can't keep it going. But that's an issue. You've got to be able to play 60 minutes at the NHL level and figure out how to do that because, again, the other teams are so good that if you take 10 to 15 minutes off, like they, you know, kind of the stretch of the first period where they gave us the 3 goals last night, you're going to give up 3 or 4 goals and you're going to be behind the 8 ball. So the biggest thing they've got to figure out right now is just how do they play a full 60 minutes? And it's pretty much been that way from the start of the year. And as I said, we're now 31 games in. You're going to blink and we're going to be at the midway point. They got to figure out ways to win hockey games right now. And, you know, you've got 3 more home games on the stretch, and you know, they're not must win because I think that phrase gets overused, but you've got to start getting points here sooner rather than later.
Jeff Sabota joining us. You could follow him on Twitter, of course, Jackets Insider. And Jeff, I don't want it to boil. It's kind of a complicated question because, like, I would love to boil it down and just say they're just getting bad goaltending, and like if they can just fix that, they'll be fine. But like I go back to a specific thing, like the Hurricanes game. Dante Fabs can't clear the zone, clear center ice, and all of a sudden they score a goal. Yesterday turnover in the defensive zone, and the Senators score. Like are there other things kind of manifesting with this team, or do you think, like you said, it's just some nights they don't have it, some nights they get the bad goaltending, or do you really think that there's some bigger issues with this team right now?
Yeah, I think the most frustrating thing for them right now is that there's not an easy answer. It's not one thing that they have to fix. And you go back to the stretches where they were giving up goals in the third period. It's kind of a similar situation that, there's not just one smoking gun you can look at because, if you look at the numbers defensively, right now they're just not a good hockey team. Both, where they're at, with goals allowed per game, the penalty kill has struggled at times. And even if you look at 5-on-5, some of the advanced numbers are giving up too many chances. So how do they get better at that? And it's not just one thing. There's been situations where, they've played really well and still make, a critical mistake at a critical time, and it's in the back of the net. And then, you're behind the eight ball, or you give up, you take a penalty at a bad time, and then you give up a power play goal, and you're behind the eight ball. So there's just been, they say kind of, failure has many fathers. There's been a lot of things you can point at here through this stretch that, like I say, even last night, they get it to 4-3, and they have the momentum, and it feels like they're going to tie the game. And then, late in the second period, you give up a goal. What a terrible time. And suddenly you've lost all that momentum. So you wish you could point at one thing and say, this is the thing they have to get better at. But it's kind of been a situation where, there's so many things that it's been different things. Even when they've sometimes struggled, they've played really good minutes, and then it's just a mistake, and the puck's in the back of the net. So it's a hard thing to figure out, but it almost just feels like they just can't help shoot themselves in the foot at the worst possible time. And you can just say, man, if we could only stop doing that, but it's hard to figure out exactly what the reason is. And they are going to have to, though, because I still think there's a good hockey team in this locker room and on this roster, and they're probably better than what the results have been so far. But they've got to figure it out, and they've got to get there pretty quickly because, again, it could get late pretty early here with where they're at in the season.
Jeff, I saw this online, and this has been something that's got mentioned like the past week. Is they were questioning, is Dean still the right guy for the job? Make the case to why you feel that he still is the guy.
Yeah, you look at his track record of success. He had, 4 really good years in Minnesota. He was the right guy last year, certainly. If you look at, the standings, and, they've got 23 points better a year ago. So that, the coach didn't just, fall off the turnip truck and get him to do that. And I think he does by and large get them to show up and play hard every night, which I think, these sports that have long seasons, whether it be baseball, hockey, or basketball, you've got to have a coach that gets you motivated to play on a regular basis. And I think he has done that. They haven't laid a ton of eggs this year. I know last night was frustrating, but it was more mistakes and things like that, more so than them just not being ready to play. I think he does do that. It's a long year. I think, you get into these long seasons and you need your coach to motivate you. And I think that he does that. I think they believe. I think there's still a strong amount of belief in this locker room. They just haven't gotten the results so far. So, I keep saying it. They're in a critical place. They've got to get it figured out. But they do believe, and Zach Werenski said it last night, that the answer is in that room. And so now, they've got the opportunity in front of them with this little stretch before Christmas for them to come back and put some points on the board. And, they're going to have to do it, and it's on them. So I guess we will see. It's going to be kind of an interesting little stretch here going into the holiday, isn't it?
Yeah, and Jeff, better or worse, they're in a division right now. It's so early in the season, you're a game under 500, you're in dead last, but it's not like anyone, the Hurricanes are leading the Metropolitan right now. Like, Jackets can get right back into this thing. They just need to get that stretch of hockey that you're talking about. So got to get some things figured out. Jess, I really appreciate your time, man. Enjoy the game tomorrow night. Vegas coming to town. It's going to be a fun game.
Yeah, sounds good. And you're right. You win 3 or 4 in a row, you're right back in it. So now is their chance to do it here going into the holiday.
Enjoy it. Thanks, Jeff. Really appreciate your time.
All right, thank you.
There he goes, Jeff Svoboda. You can follow him on Twitter, Jackets Insider. Yeah, Tyvis. It's like every night. I can only imagine what Dean Evison's going through, like ripping his hair out, because I am every night watching this team. But like Jeff said, the talent is there. I believe they're going to get it turned around, and for better or worse, you're in a really competitive division or conference, and hey, anything can happen. We just got to turn it around quick. Well, speaking of turning around, playoffs coming around for the football side of things on the NFL. They put out the 5 biggest games this weekend for playoff contenders going one way or another. Want to run through these games with Tyvis. We'll rank them. We'll talk about who we think is going to get that win and also how we feel about each of these teams as they're pushing for the playoffs. Comes your way in 2 minutes right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Well, happening downtown right now. Crew members are still on scene of an incident, really on 670. It's that eastbound direction at 23, where not 1, but 2 left lanes are currently blocked out there. Also down when it comes to slowdowns at 15 miles per hour, folks. Take it nice and easy and nice and slow. And know that once you're passing the crash, it gets a lot better out there. So just, again, take your time. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Roosters. For every $50 you spend in Roosters gift cards this holiday season, you'll receive a $10 Roosters bonus buck. Available at Roosters locations or at roosterswings.com.
Listen up, football fans. You won't want to miss this.
Right now, new Bet365 customers bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. So you could turn that $150 into something bigger when you bet on money line, spread, totals, player props.
$150 in bonus bets when new customers bet $5. I know where I'm going to bet from now on. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
The Christmas cash giveaways now at UDF. With UDrive Plus, 1 in 7 can play to win prizes instantly, including $1,000 weekly by buying specially marked items at UDF. No purchase necessary. Visit udrivecontest.com for official rules.
Great Lakes Hyundai. The savings are so good.
These savings are so good. Right now, get low lease payments on every model, like a new 2026 Elantra SE for just $119 a month for 24 months. Plus, get owner assurance and America's best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. Go now. Columbus or Dublin or glakeshyundai.com. With approved credit, $39.95 down plus taxes, fees, first month payment, 12 miles per year, ends 1/2/26.
Hey, it's Austin Ward. Listen to The Beat with Austin and Byrne, now powered by the Waterworks and Header Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Get the latest Buckeye news, insights, and unbeatable analysis every day. Don't miss a moment. Stream The Beat with Austin and Byrne, sponsored by the Waterworks and Header Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
T-Bone and Tyvis is presented by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Sign up today at awaken180weightloss.com.
If your kid is complaining about not wanting to go to school, blast the volume on this show. You won't have any more problems. This is T-Bone and Tyvis.
Getting close to the NFL postseason, and it's funny, Tyvis, because there's always teams that, you know, feel like they're in it, or mathematically they're in it, and you got to realize, like, nah, you're not really in it, or just how the team is playing down a stretch. But it was interesting because NFL.com did the 5 biggest games for playoff contenders facing the most pressure this weekend. He's Tyvis Powell. I'm Matt Fontaine in for T-Bone this morning here on The Fan. So this isn't necessarily like the best game, right? Because like the Bills and the Patriots aren't on this list because it's a great game, but there's really no pressure for those teams per se. So these are the teams facing the most pressure this weekend coming up. Tyvis, we start with the first one. It is the Colts, because not only are they having to go on the road to Seattle, as we talked about earlier, it sounds like Riley Leonard with a PCL injury is going to have to play. If he doesn't, it's 44-year-old grandfather, legit, I'm not even taking a shot, he's a grandfather, Phillip Rivers having to play. Colts, on a scale of 1 to 10, how nervous should they be for this weekend?
10. 10. I mean, are you serious? The only thing that is saving them is Jonathan Taylor, who has cooled off these last couple of weeks. He got to go back to being what he was, and they got to play one of those games where they got to play the possession game, where they control the ball for the majority. They just keep converting those third downs and running that clock out from Seattle. But it's so hard to win in Lumen Field. I mean, obviously, I was a former player there, and just those fans, it makes it just extremely difficult to go there and win. So it's not looking good for the Colts, but I need them to lose if they're going to lose, they need to be less than 14.
Seattle,
Yeah,
I feel like
that was our best bet, right?
I feel like Seattle is a wagon this year. I feel like because they play in the Pacific Northwest, people haven't really been noticing. They lost to the Rams a couple of weeks ago, but besides that, they've been blowing some teams out.
They should have won that game. They missed the field goal at the end. They should have won 22-21, but, woulda, coulda, shoulda don't mean nothing.
That sounds like that was another best bet from another week, maybe, potentially. I get it. I've been there.
No, it wasn't a best bet. What happened is my co-host.
Oh, it was a real bet.
No, it wasn't a real bet. My co-host for the Big Ten Network, the Tailgate Show, she works for the Rams. And I was telling telling her that entire week that the Seahawks was going to beat them, and they missed that field goal.
This is a pride thing.
It's a pride thing.
Those hurt worse times. Sometimes those pride ones, they hurt worse than the real bets. I'll give you that. 100%. I get that. I agree. It's a 10 here for the Colts. And, the thing is, they got out to a 7-1 start. You think you should be able to coast. I still think they make the playoffs somehow, some way. It seemed like they have a big enough lead. We'll see. Now, this team, I don't think is going to make the playoffs. Next up, biggest pressure this weekend, 5 contenders, the Kansas City Chiefs. As they are at home. They take on the Chargers. They're 6-7. Dude, we got Kelsey on his podcast admitting that the Chiefs are kind of out of whack right now. I think the weirdest thing for me on this one, guys, is nothing changed for the Chiefs. Right? I watching them play, I'm like, oh yeah, they still have, Nick Bolton. Oh yeah, there's still Chris Jones. There's Xavier Worthy. Oh yeah, it's the same team that was just in the Super Bowl, but just something isn't working. And I guess it kind of, it can happen. It's sports in this, but for them to be at this point of the season, potentially facing not just missing the playoffs, but Tyvis, maybe even having a losing record on the way out. I did not see this one coming at all.
It's unfortunate. It is, I blame the Swifties. That's whose fault this is. They decided to get married and want to have a wedding.
Didn't you hear on the podcast? They don't argue. No arguments from them.
Yes, I thought that was weird. Any
I don't trust that.
Tells you they don't argue. I'm with you.
I don't trust that. Yeah, I don't trust that. I need to see you. I need to see how crazy you are.
Yes. Yep.
And
we need to go to those places. Yep. We need to go to those places. You didn't load the dishwasher, all that kind of, and I know they live a different world than any of us, but you didn't load the dishwasher properly, or did you pick up what you were supposed to pick up? Did you take the chicken out of the freezer? That happened to me. My bad. I forgot to do that the other day. Right.
I'm going to take your guys' advice for me looking for a wife. Can I handle her crash outs?
That's the question.
Okay.
Because you're going to deal with it. You're going to deal with it.
I'm not trying to pry here, and I'm not going to pry in Tyvis's personal life either, so I'm just going to talk about my own personal life. Live with them. You got to do it.
That's a fact, too.
There's something that you will learn about the person that you're going to be spending time with. I tell you, it was one of the best things that we did, because we not only dated living separately, but then we dated while we lived together. And that's a nice little test run there for you, Dylan. So no pressure or anything like that.
Oh, that's been the breaking point for multiple relationships of mine. The live together point. That's where it crashes and burns for your boy, Matt.
You got to do it, guys. Is it crashing and burning for the Philadelphia Eagles? They are 8-5. They have the Raiders this week, which should be an easy win. Tyvis, they put them on here facing the most pressure. I think mostly just because, Philly fans are neurotic, because they're worried that the sky is falling, that it really isn't. This one I thought was interesting that they put on the list for a contender facing the most pressure. Do you buy the Eagles have pressure this weekend at 8-5 facing the Raiders?
Not really, because they should win that game. They lose that game, it's over. Fire everybody if they lose that. I think that's the only way it's pressure. But the Kenny Pickett, unless he trying to get some revenge, you traded me to the Browns, so I'm out to get y'all. If it's one of those type of situations, maybe. But the Raiders hasn't shown me anything to make me believe that they can beat, the Eagles. So I don't see the Eagles having any pressure. I just think that this is only coming because of the fact that how they've lost. Obviously, think about the Dallas game. They were up 21-0 and gave up 24 unanswered points. The Chargers game, they were winning that one. Or no, they were losing that one, but they had a nice push in the fourth quarter, just fell short. And even Saquon got it together for the first time. I know that because he on my fantasy team. And they still came up short. So I just think that's why it's like pressures, because it's like they've lost in different ways these last 3 weeks. If they lose to the Raiders, it's completely over.
See, like I get where you're coming from, but the pressure, they have Vegas, then they have Washington next week, who should probably just shut down Jaden Daniels. They're done. Then they have Buffalo, which is a big game, but then they finish again with Washington. So, like, I get that they want to push for the number 1 seed and try to get the bye, but in essence, if they win 2 of these next 3 games, solidify themselves at a minimum of 10-7, probably more like 11-6. Like, they're winning their division. You could take that Washington game at the end of the season as a bye and sit everybody. So, like, I actually don't think Philly has a 91% chance to win their division even as it goes right now. All right, guys, pressure on the Ravens. I think this is like 1,000 right now for Baltimore. They travel to Cincinnati. All this drama, which, like, Tyvis, I think this is so small about, like, not small about Lamar getting hurt, but the games with the injury report and how, like, every Wednesday it's got to come out and be like, well, Lamar Jackson's not practicing again. And we go, yeah, we know. That's like his veteran day off. Dude, I don't think the Ravens are in a mental state, a positive mental state right now. They've had to fight their injuries. It's not the same with Lamar. Derrick Henry's not been the same this season. I think swirling about what they want to do with John Harbaugh and crew, like, I think this is a level, maybe of all these games, this might be the most pressure for Baltimore, who's at 6-7. I don't think the Bengals are winning the division, but the Steelers have a big game. I think this is the biggest game of the season so far for Baltimore.
Yeah, because I think the injuries have played a massive part in their whole season, and I think that it's a lot of guys that's still trying to play through injury, and if they just can't right that ship, because they only, a game behind Steelers, which probably 2 because they lost the last one. So you're technically 2 games behind the Steelers. Like, you got to win this one. Like, if you really want to win the division, you have to win this one, because to me, you got the tough game against the Patriots and Green Bay. Like, then you play the Steelers again. Like, this is one of the ones that you have to have, because I want to say Pittsburgh's schedule is way easier to finish the season than, they got the Dolphins, the Browns, and the Ravens. So, and the Lions. So they only got one tough game, really, realistically. Yeah, the Ravens got to win this Sunday.
All right, final game, most pressure for a contender. It is the Chicago Bears, as they'll be at home to take on the Browns. This game's supposed to be cold and windy and terrible and minus 13 degrees. This game at 9-4, and they're coming off that loss to Green Bay. They play in the best division in football. Well, one of the best. I think the NFC West, NFC North, they're both very good. But, like, their chances of really how close things are of going from the 1 seed down to the 6th seed, like, it can swing, or 7, like, it could swing week to week just based on everything goes with that. So I get pressure on the Bears, but Tyvis, the reason I'm gonna kind of call that, or pull back the reins on the pressure, I think Bears fans are just so excited about Ben Johnson. He's got Caleb Williams, right? It's a really good team. I think that fan base is just happy to make the playoffs, so I don't feel much pressure for the Bears this weekend against the Browns.
I tell you what, they lose this game, it makes things interesting, because it's just so tight right there in that 7-8 window. Like, obviously Tampa Bay and Dallas is 9-10, and Tampa Bay just lost, so they're 7-7. I don't know if they can catch them, but obviously Detroit can kick them out. So they can't really afford to lose too many games down the stretch, especially when they've been playing so well, because they could easily fall to that 8th seed and be out. So, yeah, they got to win.
You know, the NFL loves this, man. They love that, 40% turnover year to year in the playoffs. They love late season. We're into December. Every game matters. It is why it is some of the best entertainment in the world. All right, we mentioned the Bengals because they got a game against the Ravens. Probably bigger for the Ravens, but Joe Burrow with some comments about not having fun. There's some drama just brewing there with the Bengals. Would the Bengals actually consider trading away Joe Burrow? That was a topic of conversation. Kurt Warner brought it up, or it was brought up to Kurt Warner out from the Bay Area. And Brock Purdy, we'll get to all of it. We'll answer the question ourselves. T-Bone and Tyvis right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there, and welcome to your Friday. We just had a crash that cleared up in our downtown scene. It was happening on 670 eastbound at 23. We're not one, but two left lanes were blocked in that area. Again, just cleared up, but I'm still seeing some lingering backups this morning, basically from that crash over 670 and 23 to basically 670 eastbound at Grandview Avenue. That exit out there, that's the stretch we're noticing this morning. So if you want to take a detour, I definitely would for your Friday. Take 670 eastbound to 315 in that southbound direction, eventually to 70 eastbound, 71 northbound, and back on 670 eastbound where you want to go. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Dormar, you're kind of hero.
When your furnace or air conditioner is broke, we come out that same day. Dormar, home the Tin Man.
Put a new sound on an old song this season at Lion's Den, the official store of pleasure, passion, and romance.
Picture it, your holiday table, the family cooking together, the scent of golden brown bread, rosemary from roasted potatoes, and a salad so crisp it snaps. This season at Kroger, make the moments that matter possible with quality that's affordable in every aisle. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
It's a great time to save on 2 packs of Kroger butter. 16-ounce packages are on sale for only $5.99 each with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Millions of fans agree this Christmas tradition rocks. Trans-Siberian Orchestra, live in concert, presenting the Ghosts of Christmas Eve, the best of TSO and more. December 23rd, 2 shows, Nationwide Arena. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Trans-Siberian Orchestra. A portion of the proceeds benefits the James and Heather Pick Music Program.
This is Corey Sickles with Safe Harbor Wealth Advisors. Loads and fees erode your retirement savings. Let us show you how to protect your nest egg. Visit safeharboroh.com to schedule a complimentary meeting. safeharboroh.com.
Do you hate holiday pictures because of your teeth? What if a brand new smile was possible?
No matter what the current state of your mouth.
Welcome to Runyon Dental Group, home of the Implant and Smile Center, where gorgeous, healthy smiles become a reality.
At Runyon, we've built a team of some of the most highly trained arch and implant doctors in the entire nation. This isn't an ordinary dental practice.
We believe that everyone can have a great smile.
Including you, especially you. Your new smile is waiting at Runyon Dental Group.
My advisor at Plant Moran Wealth Management knows my definition of wealthy. Restoring classic cars. You tinker under the hood, put the keys in the ignition, and then the moment of truth. There's nothing like it.
You have your own personal definition of wealthy. Plant Moran Wealth Management knows it takes a personal approach to get you there. Experience the difference with Plant Moran Wealth Management. Book a consultation today.
Dormar, you're kind of hero.
Ring in 2026 in a big way at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Don't miss our $65,000 New Year, New Wheels giveaway. You could drive off in a 2026 Chevy Traverse or take home $35,000 cash. Earn entries playing your favorite slot and table games all month long. The fun doesn't stop there. Catch live entertainment, hit the dance floor, indulge in fine dining, and count down to a balloon drop at midnight. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
The Lindsay Honda year-end clearance is on. Enjoy the lowest prices of the season on hundreds of new in-stock Hondas, like 2026 Civic Sport Hybrid Sedan or 2026 HRV LX front-wheel drive. Your choice, just $299 a month. Remember, our goal is 100% credit approval. Shop our Honda Wonderland now and save big.
From our family to yours, Merry Christmas.
Happy Honda Clearance on select 2025 models only. Visit lindsayhonda.com for details.
Sunday, a day of rest, relaxation, and Browns football. Catch the Brownies as they battle the Bears in the Windy City.
Live fan coverage starts Sunday at 11 with the Kick at 1.
Your radio home of the Browns, The Fan.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Airflow Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
One of these men is bald and fat. The other is T-Bone. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
Matt Fontana in for T-Bone. I feel like I don't live up to either one of those billings, but that's okay. Tyvis is here. He doesn't live up to either one of those billings either, so we'll have to bring somebody else in for the show in the mornings for the fat and bald side of things, but that's all right. Matt Fontana for T-Bone this morning.
Only because he got his hair fixed, though. That's the only reason why it doesn't apply to him.
Haters gonna hate.
It's fake.
Don't hate. Don't hate me because I'm beautiful.
Dylan, how old are you, by the way?
I'm 34.
You're in your 20s, right?
34.
You're 34?
33. 33.
All right.
33. That's how.
Good for you. Never mind. I thought you look like you're 25. I don't mean this in a negative way.
No, I take it as a compliment.
You're welcome.
I'm aging gracefully. Thank you for noticing.
You're 8. There you go. There you go. Well, this was. I saw this Tyvis yesterday because, like, I hope this happens, to be honest with you, because there was something I saw out of the Bay Area, 95-7 the game, and they started throwing around the idea. Would the Cincinnati Bengals actually trade Joe Burrow? And the idea came up that the 49ers would send Brock Purdy and 2 picks, and I think they said 2 ones.
You want the audio,
to
Matt?
Cincinnati to get Joe Burrow. Brock Purdy?
You want the audio? Dylan says he has it.
Oh, sorry, that's what it was. Yeah, the audio. Let's hear from Kurt Warner because they brought this, and I think this was a topic on 95-7 the game, but they asked Kurt Warner about this. Would you make this trade, Kurt Warner? 2 ones in Brock Purdy for Joe Burrow. Here's Kurt Warner on 95-7 the game.
I think Brock's really good, but I also do believe Joe's better than Brock is and brings more to the table. And so I think, if that were the case, you probably have 28 teams in the league that say Joe Burrow would be an upgrade at the quarterback spot. Not a knock on any of these other guys. They're really good quarterbacks in this league. It's just Joe's one of the special ones.
Joe.
That's Kurt Warner. Tyvis, this sounds crazy, right? Like that you would even entertain this, but like obviously Joe's frustrated. I think part of it is he can't stay healthy. It's not like that would get fixed if he got traded to another team. T. Higgins got paid. That the Trey Hendrickson debacle has just like what a terrible job by Duke Tobin and the Bengals on the Trey Hendrickson thing. But like, I don't know, man. Would you even for a second think that this could be a reality, or you think Joe would get sick of the Bengals and want to try somewhere new?
I wouldn't think that he would get sick. Like, yeah, he would want to definitely play and have an opportunity. I just think that he wouldn't want to leave Jamar Chase. Now, if you go to the 49ers, I question their talent because they got the whole Brandon Ayuk situation, which I don't know if he's going to be there next year. Ricky Pearsall ain't really been that guy. George Kittle sometimes in and out of the lineup. So, like, that would bother me and that would scare me if I was Joe. Like, yeah, you got CMC, but obviously we know the history with CMC as well. So, like, you would just truly have to trust Kyle, which Kyle is an amazing play caller, one of the best in the business. But I don't know. I don't know if I would want to go there and not have the weapons of like a Jamar Chase or something like that. So I think Joe ultimately wants to stay in Cincinnati. Obviously, he's been to the Super Bowl and experienced success in Cincinnati. He just got half of it is just him. So he just got to stay healthy. And we could blame his offensive line, but like the turf toe, that has nothing to do with your offensive line. That's just wear and tear on that ligament. So I think he'll be fine. He'll be fine unless he pull an Andrew Luck and just completely retire. But I just don't see him going anywhere else.
Yeah, it was funny because there was an article this week talking about could Joe Burrow be the next Andrew Luck, where he has all this talent, everything, but the injuries start piling up, and he doesn't love the game anymore, and it's just drained him from it. And you're right, there's an element that you can't really blame the Bengals for some of that. Like, it's tackle football. He got tackled, it hurt his toe. Like, that's kind of just what happens. But you talk about where the Bengals go, and I was joking when I said I would love this to happen because it'd just make things a lot easier for the Browns or, a lot easier for other teams around here. But you think about the finite amount of time. Like, I just think Saquon Barkley changed a lot with how players perceive themselves with teams that aren't winning. Like, when Saquon got away from the Giants and in year one went and won a Super Bowl with the Eagles, right? And everybody says Saquon Barkley is an electric player. He's so good. I thought that's what was going to happen to Myles Garrett with the Browns, where he sat there and he said, I am one of the best players in the league. I'm not going to waste my career here. And yeah, I'm not going to chase every last dollar because it's going to mean more to me to go to another place and actually win. Now, the Bengals are different.
Until they slap that check in front of them, and then all that went right out the window.
That's a little different when they put $40 million a year in front of you, Tyvis. I guess that is probably right. It'd be hard to turn that away and go, okay, maybe I'll play here for a few more years. I get that. But, and Burrow, I think it's hard because they had success. They went to a Super Bowl. They didn't win it, but they went. So it's like there's a hope for that. I just think that this is just a frustrating time for him. He, like, you talk about the money, he's paid, and they'll pay him again whenever that comes back up because I think he's that good of a player. But I just think it's frustrations boiling over. And I think it's a little message towards the Bengals to say we need to fix some of these things. And I'm holding you accountable to fix some of it. But Tyvis, you're right. Some of it's just football, man. You get hurt. Guys go down. It's just what happens. And that's the unfortunate part of the game. There's nothing you can do to control that.
Yeah, and just that losing takes a toll on you, especially when you lose in the fashion. Like, did you see last week where he threw the pick six to the guy? Yeah. Like, it was in a critical moment. It's just like, man, like, it just keeps stacking on stacking. I just think that he's got to get to the offseason. Like, the season's over for them. Like, they're obviously not going to the playoffs and things like that. He just needs to get to the offseason, hit the refresh button, and go from there. But I just think that it's just frustrating when you're in the middle of everything and, you start to play really well, but yet you still not getting the results of wins and stuff like that. Like, it gets frustrating, and I think that's just where he and the rest of that team is right now.
Well, speaking of teams and where they're at, the Michigan Wolverines, crazy week. Sherrone Moore fired. He's going to be arraigned later today. But I thought this was interesting coming from Joel Klatt because he was on his podcast, of course, college football broadcaster on Fox, and he gave a list of 3 names that he believes the next Michigan coach will be one of these 3 names. I'll tell you the names. We'll run through some of the other options, and we'll get the latest on the Sherrone Moore situation with the Michigan Wolverines. Matt Fontana, Tyvis Palace, T-Bone and Tyvis this morning here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Well, happy Friday. No new crashes to report on the roads right now for folks in New Albany. No congestion on 62 eastbound, even 161 eastbound and westbound in those directions. A live look at Grove City this morning, particularly at that 270 and Georgesville Road area. Traffic moving along just fine out there. And hey, lastly, for our friends in Madison County, if you're making your way out the door this morning, pretty slow on 40 eastbound out there. So maybe take 70 eastbound towards the city if you can. West Jefferson to 270 will take you about 11 minutes this morning. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Get your furnace fixed fast. Call Care Heating and Cooling, 1-800-COOLING.
They say glory is earned, not given. We say it's ignited by heart and ends with a boom. Get
your tickets today at BlueJackets.com.
Imagine the perfect chicken tender. Crispy, juicy, for lack of a better word, tendery. Now imagine these perfect tenders at Wendy's. 'Cause they are. Wendy's new chicken tenders are here with delicious new dipping sauces like Wendy's Signature, Creamy Ranch, and Honey Barbecue. And they're so good, we even changed our name from Wendy's to Tendies. I believe that's what the kids call manifesting. For Tendies you're gonna know by name, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's.
Matty Ice here. The end of the year has almost arrived, so it's the perfect time to head up to McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion, where the savings are rolling all month long. You can lease a brand new 26 Chevy Equinox for just $225 a month for 36 months with $4,369 due at signing. Or if financing is more your style, grab it for only $225 a month for 84 months with $1,000 due at signing. Certain restrictions apply. They're just off Route 23 on 95 in Marion, or you can visit McDanielGMSuperstore.com. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Common Man and Bob Capace here for Worthington Jewelers. Bob, why should people trust you for their holiday shopping this year?
Family owned and operated for 25 years. We're known for helping guys make great decisions. Unlike me hiring you, Common Man.
You know, I was thinking, I've been a good, clean boy this year. You got anything for me over there?
How about a nice anklet?
Sold! Worthington Jewelers on High Street in Worthington. WorthingtonJewelers.com, where Columbus gets engaged.
Looking to launch a career in the skilled trades but don't know where to begin? Part-time service in the Ohio Army National Guard can help. You can kickstart your career by enlisting in one of our many trades-based jobs. Get paid to learn these skills and gain on-the-job training when you report to your unit 1 weekend a month or 2 weeks in the summer. To learn how the Guard can pay for your civilian trade certification, visit nationalguard.com/OH. Sponsored by the Ohio Army National Guard in coordination with the Ohio Association of Broadcasters and this station.
It's the Kia Season of New Traditions sales event. So don't just hang your own lights. Look for the northern lights. Drink cocoa on the beach. Or be a drive-by karaoke caroler. Because every new Kia comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. So you can take holidays to places they've never been with a capable Kia SUV. And right now, get 0.9% APR for up to 60 months for well-qualified buyers and $1,000 bonus cash on the purchase of specially tagged new 2025 Telluride, Sorrento, and Sportage models. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Financing for 24 to 60 months from Kia Finance. Subject to credit approval for purchase of a new 2025 Telluride, Sorrento, and Sportage. $1,705 per month per $1,000 financed at 60 months. $1,000 bonus cash on specially tagged models must be applied as down payment. Must take delivery by 1/2/26. Offers may not be combined except where specified. Subject to dealer participation and vehicle availability. See Kia dealer for details.
Breathe. You got this. You got this.
In the moments that truly matter, what do? Rise to the occasion. Ohio Health. It's time.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. The holidays are here, and if you've got a collector in your life, you have to check out Midwest Cards. Thousands of packs and boxes from Pokemon to every sport you can name. It's a full-on collector's dream. Plus, they have signed jerseys and memorabilia that'll make any fan go crazy. The variety is awesome, and the selection legendary. So swing by Midwest Cards today, grab an epic gift or even a gift card, and watch your favorite collector's face light up this holiday season. Get to Midwest Cards today and tell them T-Bone sent you.
Becoming a truck driver doesn't have to be complicated. At Schneider, we make it easy to get your commercial driver's license and start your new career. With our CDL apprenticeship training, you'll get paid to become a truck driver in just 5 to 6 weeks and have a Schneider driving job waiting for you when you've completed the program. Plus, during training, Schneider will provide transportation, lodging, and meals at no cost to you. Ready to get your career on the road? Learn more and apply today at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good morning, I'm Dylan Gonzalez. The Columbus Blue Jackets were on home ice last night, hosting the visiting Ottawa Senators at Nationwide Arena. The Jackets got off to a horrible start, giving up 3 unanswered goals to begin the game. The CBJ were unable to recover and lost by a final of 6-3. Thursday Night Football last night featured an NFC South divisional matchup between the Atlanta Falcons and Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The game came down to a last-minute drive where Falcons kicker Zane Gonzalez hit a 43-yard field goal with time expiring to win the game and upset the Bucs 29-28. And finally, former Michigan coach Sherrone Moore still remains in custody and is expected to appear in court for arraignment later today. This update was sponsored by Germain Toyota, the best selection of new and used cars in Central Ohio. View their selection of vehicles online at germaintoyota.net. Breaking sports news when it happens right here on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Just a reminder, Tyvis thinks all pizza tastes the same. Also a reminder, Tyvis was born without taste buds. You're listening to Bone and Tyvis.
Who's going to be the next coach of the Michigan Wolverines? Joel Klatt thinks that he's got a list of who it's going to be. Matt Fontaine in for T-Bone this morning. He's Tyvis' pal. On the pizza thing, Tyvis, any interest? So I found a recipe online. I'm making cast iron pizza tonight. Like, we have a cast iron like skillet. I found a recipe. You just put the pizza dough in it, throw everything on, throw it in the oven. I'm very, very curious to see how it comes out tonight.
Well, it's going to taste similar to all pizza. I never said that pizza tastes the same. I said it all tastes similar. And what you're going to do is going to taste similar to Pizza Hut, Domino's, JT's, Cheshire, Jets, whatever pizza Flyers, whatever you into, it's going to taste similar. Not the same, but very similar, because all pizza is just bread, sauce, cheese, and whatever toppings
Have you
like.
had Chicago deep dish, though? Have you had, like, if you branched out to different types of pizza?
Yeah. You know what I realized?
Oh, all right.
Tastes the same.
What?
Similar. Excuse me. It tastes similar.
Chicago deep dish is similar to pasta. It is not even real pizza.
Well, that's
you got to be in the mood for it. You got to be in the mood for it. It's a little different, but I'll let you know. I'll tell you what, I'll text you guys tonight. I'll text you guys a picture tonight of how this pizza comes out. You tell me if it looks like all the rest of the pizza, because I feel like if you think it tastes similar, it's probably got to look similar, right?
That's true. Well, no, not necessarily. Yeah. Not necessarily.
Okay. I'll send you a picture tonight. You tell me if it looks similar, and I'll let you know if it tastes similar. I'd send you a slice, but by the time it got there, it probably wouldn't be very good. All right, Joel Klatt has an idea of who the next Michigan head coach might be. So we know, this situation, Tyvis, which I think it's really, I think, one of the stories of the year in sports for how quickly this just kind of came about. The reporting that happens, and I think we've all been in, these breaking news scenarios, both as like kind of what Tyvis and I do versus like fans out there, where you get the news right away and then the details start to come out. And, listen, this sounds like it was one of the worst kept secrets, in the Michigan athletic department. A lot of people knew what was going on. They investigated them, investigated the situation that apparently, the other person involved came to leadership on Wednesday morning, had texts and all these other things. So we're here today, and again, Sherrone Moore is going to get arraigned later today. He's still in police custody, so we'll have updates as we go on. But when you go back to the football program, they're going to have to make a hire. And I think, Tyvis, it's hard because you have teams in the college football playoff that you'd like to either talk to their head coach or talk to their coordinator type. But you've also got a fan base and recruits and a team that are sitting there just kind of, in the wind. I know they appointed an interim coach and all that, but then there's reports Michigan wants to move quick on this hire. I just think at this point, like, what can they do? Because they need to make a splash in this. They need to hire somebody that's going to be a name, that's going to be able to help stabilize things with the program. I really sit here, Tyvis, and I wonder who would want to take this job right now. It seems like an absolute nightmare. PR side of things, you're going to have recruits that are going to want to leave. Like, I think if you're a coach that's a high name or a big big on this, high on the list, big name is what I'm trying to say, you're going to have other options. I wouldn't take this job. No way.
There's only one man that can come in. It's two. One I named yesterday. It's two people that can come in there and that can change the complete, like, publicity of the place. Like, they won't even be talking about Sherrone Moore. If you hire one of two people, yesterday I said it was Deion Sanders. Today.
Okay, I'll listen to that.
Today, if they hired Tom bleeping Brady, you wouldn't hear nothing about Sherrone Moore. You'd be talking about the greatest quarterback to ever play coming back to his alma mater to pull what Jim Harbaugh did. You'll get your recruits to stay. You'll get Bryce Underwood for sure to stay.
Oh, yeah, he stay, yeah.
And you probably be able to get more people to come through. If you want to get out of the Jim Harbaugh and the Sherrone Moore thing where you don't want to have to hear all of that stuff anymore, you want people to move on to the next thing, you would have to hire somebody with a big-time name. And those two could do it. Dan Lanning also can do it as well.
The only pushback I have on Brady is that he might have to take a pay cut from Fox to go coach Michigan.
I was just going to say,
how much money
that dude's making. That is a massive pay cut for him. That is a massive pay cut, $40 million a year, even if he gets 15 as the top pay coach. I thought he might go Chucky Wood. I thought he might say Charles Woodson. That would be like
Charles
another
Woodson
name
definitely can do it.
Yeah. I think to help it out. Now, on the other side of it is going to get like a top name coach. So Joel Klatt on his podcast, he ran through 3 tiers, 3 different levels of coaching options for Michigan. The first one I just want to run through, it's coordinators you got to call. It's Jesse Minter, Chargers DC, was with Harbaugh in Michigan, Bryant Haynes, the Indiana DC, and then Glenn Schumann, who's the DC at Georgia. Let's set those aside for a second. Next list from Joel Klatt for the Michigan hiring process. You have to call these 3 and force them to tell you no. Marcus Freeman, Dan Lanning, and Kurt Cignetti at Indiana. Tyvis, would any of those 3 of Freeman, Lanning, and Cignetti, would they even pick the phone up at this point or no?
I don't think Freeman would. Obviously, he's got his thing going in Notre Dame, and he's a Buckeye. Lanning, I feel like Lanning like, the thing about Oregon is he's never not going to have the money. As long as Phil Knight is writing a blank check and, like, here, whatever you want, just give me a championship. Like, I don't think you would leave that. Who was the other ones?
Signetti at Indiana.
No, he just got paid. You can't even do him. Mike Elko from A&M, he just got paid, I believe. The only person like is Kalen DeBoer or Kenny Dillingham or Clark Lee. Like, maybe you can get one of those 3.
So it's funny you bring those up, because the next list for Joel Klatt, he says one of these 3 coaches will likely be the next Michigan head coach. Clark Lee of Vanderbilt, Mike Elko, Texas A&M, and Kenny Dillingham of Arizona State. So again, the first tier is like coordinator guy. Tier 2 is like call them. They're going to probably tell you no. But Joel Klatt really feels like Clark Lee, Vanderbilt, Mike Elko at A&M, and Dillingham of Arizona State. One of those is going to come there. I would probably rank them Elko 1, but again, also just got paid. It's Texas. They have a lot of money. They're in the college football playoff. Like, I don't know. The turnaround that Vanderbilt has had under Clark Lee, which is good, which has been pretty solid. Like, I still think there's a jump, and I think there's still a jump to be had with Kenny Dillingham coming from Arizona State as well. Like, does that do it? Like, if they went out and they said, you know what, we got our guy. We get Clark Lee. We got him out of Vanderbilt. He's our guy. Like, does that do it for the Michigan fan base? I think Mike Elko might, but I don't know if Clark Lee or Kenny Dillingham does that.
Didn't Clark Lee go to Vanderbilt?
And that's Joel Klatt brought. These are 3 guys that none of them have a direct Michigan tie. None of these guys have something that's direct tie to Michigan. So I'm pretty sure.
I don't think Clark Lee is going to leave. Kenny Dillingham, and if Bama moves on from Kalen DeBoer, that's the 2 that I can see.
You're right. Clark Lee was a fullback at Vanderbilt from 02 to 04. Was at Wake Forest, then he was the DC at Notre Dame, and he's been at Vanderbilt now for 4 years. So he's kind of the same thing. Like, he's built up a reputation there, and I don't want to say Vanderbilt has broken through, because like that's hard to do in the SEC, but they're better off than where they were. Pete Thamel brought up Clark Lee, saying that would be the perfect fit. there at Michigan. I just wonder so much about who's going to be able to kind of like shoulder this, this just nightmare. I'm going to say nightmare because it is. It's something that it's a crazy story. There's going to be a lot of fallout. There's going to be more fallout. Michigan has hired a third-party law firm out of D.C. to investigate everything, to investigate all of this. So we're far from the last of this being heard or what else might be uncovered, frankly, as we go on. So I don't know, Tyvis, like, it's just, I feel like you need somebody that's going to be able to shoulder. I'm not saying Clark Lee or Kenny Dillingham can't, but I just think they're going to need a big name, and they're going to have to pay a lot of money to try to get somebody in there. But you can't do anything because most of these guys that we mentioned are busy getting ready for college football games in the playoff one way or another. I wonder real quick how that's going to factor into their timing, right? Because you want to hire somebody quick, you might have to go get somebody that's not in the playoff, therefore might not be your number one guy.
Hey.
But if you want to call Lanning, you want to call Cignetti, you want to call Mike Elko, you can't talk to those guys for at least 3 more weeks, right? At minimum.
They getting Tommy Reese.
Oh, that is a report that came out yesterday from Mary Kay. I know, real quick, Times. I think that's a bad fit for both teams or both sides. If I was Tommy Reese, I'd tell you do not go to Michigan. And if I was Michigan, I'm like, I don't think you want Tommy Reese for that job.
He's
no disrespect. I think it's bad fit.
He's gonna help Bryce Underwood. That's why they got to think about Bryce Underwood in this hire.
You're 100% correct. I just keep coming back to, like, do you really think Tommy Reese is going to be able to stabilize this? Stabilize I say franchise, organization, whatever you want to call it. Like, is that somebody's going to step up and do it? Maybe I'm discounting, maybe I'm discrediting, Tommy a little bit, but I would tell him if he was sitting next to me right here, I'd be like, Tom, listen to me, man, don't do it. And it's not even me being a Michigan hater, which I am. I would just be like, dude, it's a bad job to take. Like, I'm telling you it is. All right, coming up, Todd Bowles, he went off on his players last night. What a loss for the Bucs. We'll hear that. We got the morning breath. Comes your way next here on The Fan.
Fan traffic
from the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning and happy Friday. Well, as we're kicking off this 8 o'clock hour, we are seeing just one crash on the roads, and it's happening just outside of the metro, really over by Canal Winchester. It's happening on 33 in that westbound direction at Bowen Road, where the right shoulder is currently blocked, seeing a little bit of congestion right before Gender Road and right before that crash this morning, but really no major concerns as of right now. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
Men, it's the holidays, the season of all kinds of hustle and bustle. But if your energy is down, if you aren't sleeping well, if your sex drive is MIA, and you just don't feel like the guy you once were, maybe it's tough to get excited for all the holiday cheer. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health. And if this sounds like you may have low testosterone. And if so, this is the season for you to get treated. At Tri-State Men's Health, we're experts in treating low T. If you're like most guys, you'll feel the change in just a few weeks. And truly, the results can be life-changing. You'll have improved mental clarity, your energy will kick up, your workouts will be better, your sleep patterns will improve, and your sex drive will likely heat up as well. So call us and don't go through another season with low T. Your initial visit is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. That's tristatemenshealth.com. We have 2 convenient locations in the area to serve you, in Hilliard and Westerville.
Ring in 2026 in a big way at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Don't miss our $65,000 New Year, New Wheels giveaway. You could drive off in a 2026 Chevy Traverse or take home $35,000 cash. Earn entries playing your favorite slot and table games all month long. The fun doesn't stop there. Catch live entertainment, hit the dance floor, indulge in fine dining, and count down to a balloon drop at midnight. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
My furnace is still heating, but something's not quite right. Seems it's working awfully hard, but I'm so cold at night.
Let us have a look. We'll figure out what's wrong. We'll recommend the best plan to get it running strong. Get a free diagnostic furnace check with repair. Call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
I love Right Pack Credit Union because they're solution driven.
I feel valued as a member.
They're focused on the latest technology and the personal connections.
Experience benefits that go beyond banking with Right Pat Credit Union. Just ask our actual members.
I definitely recommend Right Pat to all my family and friends as a credit union of choice.
Visit one of our Columbus area Right Pat Credit Union member centers near you. Based on individual members' experiences, results may vary.
Bobby Carpenter here for Germain Toyota. Swing by Germain Toyota and ask for Marcello and discover unbeatable deals and a wide selection of new and certified pre-owned Toyota vehicles. Visit them at germaintoyota.net. Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road.
Come on, kids, we're going to Grandma's house.
Grandma's house! Grandma's house! What do we do to be safe and ready to go? We buckle up. Buckle up.
Phones down.
Phones down. And when we go, take it slow. And if you drink,
Don't drive. And off we go.
ODOT, the Ohio State Highway Patrol, and the Ohio Traffic Safety Office are doing their part to keep roads safe. Do your part to make sure everyone makes it home safe for the holidays.
Getting a live Christmas tree to plant after the holidays? Well, here are some tips. In the house, keep it away from heat sources that could wake it up out of dormancy. You don't want that. Dig your hole now before the ground freezes. Or if you plan to wait till spring, you need to protect roots from extreme cold with mulch or straw. And move it from the warm house to an unheated area like a garage temporarily to make the transition outside more gentle. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from the Ohio chapter of the International Society of Arboriculture at treesforohio.org. That's trees, the number 4, ohio.org.
Love football? Love wings? Put those bad boys together and you get Austin and Byrne live at Roosters.
Sponsored by Roosters, a fun casual joint.
Large amounts of football and all the donkey sauce you can handle. Mondays on the Fan's YouTube channel. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Hey there, Central Ohio. I'm Sam Weather Impact Meteorologist Michael Behrens with your latest forecast. We're looking at some snow chance early this morning, but most of it will stay south of Columbus. Temperatures in the mid-30s this afternoon with some sunshine poking through. We'll be down into the upper 20s tonight with heavy snow expected Saturday. 10 TV Weather Impact Alert Day for the second half of the day as multiple inches of snowfall are expected to fall. That's your latest 10 Weather Impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
Never have I been so excited to get a whiff of sweaty jock straps. It's Football Friday.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Yay, football, the fan. Sometimes when Tyvis wears khaki pants, I can see the outline of his genitals. There's no joke there. It's just an observation.
God, the more I resist, the more intriguing they become. I can't look away.
You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
They're out of line.
Like the back-to-back promos there, from the jockstrap to that. Like well done, Dylan. That's a good way to roll.
Oh, that's not me. I appreciate the credit, but
they're out of line.
I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you anyway. T-Bone and Tyvis, Matt Fontana. I have jeans on, so you don't have to worry about that for me over here. I'm Matt Fontana in for T-Bone this morning. He's Tyvis Powell. We'll get some morning breath, but Tyvis, we got some breaking Buckeye news and an amazing award for one Caleb Downs.
Yeah, they say he announced on his podcast that he has won the Jim Thorpe Award, given to the best defensive back in the nation. Wow. That's an award that I only dreamed of.
He becomes the now third Ohio State Buckeye to win that award. Here's your trivia for the morning. Ohio State now has 3 winners. Yeah. They tie, any guess, guys, what other schools have 3 Thorpe Award winners? There's actually now 4 schools that have 3.
Alabama.
No, they have 2.
LSU.
Guess, but no. LSU is 1. Grant Delpit won it back in 2019. And then Patrick Peterson and Morris Claiborne went back-to-back with it in 10 and 11. Texas has 3 because Barron won it last year to give them 3. And then I'll throw you this one because they haven't won it in over 20 years. Oklahoma has 3.
I would have never.
But they haven't won it since 2000. I would never have got that. But for Ohio State, now with Caleb Downs winning it, he joins Malcolm Jenkins and the great Antoine Winfield as Thorpe Award winners for the Buckeyes. Did you get votes for that, Tyvis? I know we talked about the Heisman earlier. You had to have gotten votes for the Thorpe Award,
Absolutely
right?
not. Vaughn did, though. I think Vaughn was a Vaughn was a finalist for it. Me, no. I was a Jag. I was just along for the ride.
That's all right. I'd have given you a vote for that, all right, as well. All right, let's head over to the pro side of things, and a coach not too happy right now.
Sometimes it's better if people just shut up. Shut up! It's time for Morning Breath.
Sponsored by Sanders' Famous Bumpy Cake. Now available in Columbus at Kroger and Meyer.
Well, we go back to just last night. The Bucks choke one away. They lose. Their playoff hopes are sliding away, and Todd Bowles has had enough.
At this point, you've seen everything in the season. You know, the coaches have done everything they can do. This is a player-driven team in the last 4 or 5 weeks. You got to execute, and they got to hold each other accountable. As a coach, you can sit there till you blue in the face until they start holding each other accountable and doing the little things right. And that's not everybody. Now we're talking about a small select few, but the small select few is what's getting us beat. And until that happens, it's not going to get right. So we got to get up and go to work tomorrow. No matter how bad today looks, you got to put it behind you, and we got to win the last 3 games. We know that.
That was Todd Bowles. I mean, Tyvis, that's about as pointing as he could be, where he's calling. I mean, he's not going to say the player's name, but he's obviously calling out somebody. And he's saying, like, this player or two are costing us games. And, you know, you would think of the Buccaneers where it's like, I know Baker can be, I don't want to say abrasive, but he can be loud and he can be boisterous and all that, but I do think he's a good leader. I think Mike Evans is an amazing leader. I think Chris Godwin seems to be a good leader. So I just sit here and Levante David is still on that team. Like, he's, I would think, one of the best leaders in football, but something's not working for them right now, and it's not coming together. And to hear Todd Bowles, which, I mean, Tyvis, tell everybody too, like, when a coach is going to the media, is that not like the last gasp, or like, you usually you bring it up in team meetings, and then you bring it up in individual meetings, and then you keep as much of that in-house, where, like, when I hear a coach have to go through the media to try to get his point across, that usually seems to be like the last act of a desperate man. This is last on the list to try to get through to these guys.
Yeah, no, for sure. They pull you to the side. They talk to you one-on-one. Still ain't getting through. They bring it up in team meeting, maybe embarrassing you and bringing it out in front of everybody so we all on the same page. You know, maybe that'll hurt your pride a little bit and make you want to lock in. If that don't work, yeah, you got to go to the media and say it in the media. But obviously, you know, he didn't put the name on that. To me personally, I think it was probably somebody on the defensive side of the ball. I was watching just some of their efforts last night, and it's not a burning desire to get to the ball like it used to be with a Todd Bowles defense. Like a Todd Bowles defense, the one thing about it is you never ever could run the ball. That was like, you will not run the ball against Todd Bowles. I remember back when Zeke was playing with the Cowboys and they were on their little run. Zeke did. I don't even think he carried the ball because they knew that they weren't going to run the ball against this Tampa Bay front. And that's not the case. Obviously, you know, 19 carries, 93 yards for Bijan last night. So and a touchdown. So he's getting it done on the ground. But like I said, some of the passes, I've seen some of the catches, and then the effort to chase them down. Like, it was just guys just kind of like jogging. So to me, I think he's probably talking to somebody on the defensive side of the ball, which would really hurt him because he's a defensive-minded guy. He's the one calling the defense. And, you know, especially in a situation to try to win the game at the end, and you know, especially on that last, I think it was a play to Kyle Pitts that kind of got him in field goal range. Like on that play, just like a little lackadaisical effort on there. And I wasn't a fan of that. And if I can see it, I know he's seen it.
Why is anyone surprised by the Bucks collapse? Tyvis, since the day I've met you, what I've told you, a Baker Mayfield-led team ain't it. This is the calling card for a Baker Mayfield-led team. They played good last year. They got themselves some expectations. People were picking them to maybe win the NFC this year. And what happens whenever Baker's teams get any expectations? They fall off a cliff. They got to play. They have to play the Panthers 2 times to end the season, and that's obviously going to determine the NFC South. It's very plausible that the Buccaneers just missed the playoffs altogether. Where are the Baker Bros at? That's what I want to know.
That will be
they're not in the
failure.
They're not in the YouTube comments anymore, Tyvis. They're not tweeting at us anymore.
I didn't know they were.
They're gone.
To your point, they were. It was a point of the season where they were 5-1, and then they lost to the Lions, beat the Saints, and then lost, win, lost. So yeah, it's not going well.
I mean, I'm not trying to. I don't want to get the wrath of Dylan on me here, but like I'm not trying to defend. But they had like losing Mike Evans, like Bucky Irving was hurt. I know they found Sean Tucker in a way, and he had to run the ball, but like there was a lot of turnover with that team, and like yes, then Baker, very eerily reminiscent of what happened here in Cleveland. He got hurt. He's fighting through the left shoulder injury. I'm not trying to make excuses. Because I think there's a lot wrong with the Buccaneers, and I think you bring an interesting point up, Dylan, like the debate about is that more on Baker, is that more on Todd Bowles of how this team is currently constructed and how it looks. And let's not forget, too, Baker needs a new contract. And if you're Tampa, are you really seeing how this season went, ready to go all in with Baker and just hand him a brand new contract and pay him a bunch of money? It's the same thing with the Colts. Are you ready to look at that 7-1 start that you had? Then you got Daniel Jones injured, I know, but then playing really bad, and then towards the Achilles. Are you ready just to walk in and go, oh yeah, Danny Dimes, here's a new contract, ready to go right off into the sunset of being a playoff contender? Like, those are hard decisions to be made. And I think, Tyvis, you're right. There was a point earlier in the season, Baker was going to call his shot on the number that he was going to get and how much money he was going to make. And I don't know if it's quite that easy anymore when he sits down with Jason Light and the crew down there in Tampa to work out a new contract.
No, yes, they might be on the Joe Burrow sweepstakes if that's really a thing.
If it even came up of like what Joe Burrow would cost, like it would be incredible to see what teams would line up and be willing to pay. Back to the college side we go coming up, because you got 12 teams in the college football playoff. That means you have 12 head coaches. That means they ranked them. CBS went 1-12 on the best head coach in the college football playoff. Ryan Day is going to be pretty high, but where did he come out in? And I'm going to throw this to Tyvis. Who is the most underrated coach in the college football playoff with the 12 that are going? We'll get to all that in just 2 minutes right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Well, folks, some great news if you live over by Bryce and Reynoldsburg this morning. Over on the east side, not seeing really any congestion on 70, particularly that westbound direction just west of State Route 256. Usually gets backed up, but right now on this Friday, that is in the clear. As for folks in our northwest corner, coming from Plain City to Dublin, right now 42 to 161 takes you 4 minutes. Not too bad, but hey, a lot better. 161 Avery Road clocking you in at a minute on this Friday. I'm 10 TV's Brianna Albizu with your fan traffic.
This holiday season, save time and make memories. Diamond Seller is your one-stop shop for luxury gifts, from diamonds to watches and the finest jewelry in the world. Gift our iconic blue box and enjoy our guaranteed best prices. Visit Diamond Seller on Salmo Road or at Easton Town Center.
Whether you're a music person or not, Christmas songs find a way into all of our lives this time of year. We all know them, we all sing them. But what we must remember is that these songs are more than a tradition, they're an invitation to pause even for a moment and remember what actually happened that first Christmas, where Jesus came not for the polished and the perfect, but for the searching, the stressed, the lost, and the overwhelmed. He came for people like us, who need peace we can't find on our own, forgiveness we can't earn, and a hope that lasts longer than just a season. In the middle of the schedules, the shopping, the wrapping paper, these songs whisper a different story. A story of a Savior who came to us, who stepped into our mess, who offers life that isn't temporary and a love that actually holds. From the Lindsay Automotive family, Merry Christmas. Christ is the reason for the season.
Dormar, you're kind of cute.
Ugh, gross. Can I come over to your house one time and you not have your husband prancing around in its tighty-whities?
Well, I can't do laundry because our septic line is clogged.
Call Dormar. They do same-day plumbing repair.
Dormar, you're kind of cute.
T-Bone and Tyvis is presented by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Sign up today at awaken180weightloss.com.
Tyvis Powell helped the Buckeyes win a national championship. T-Bone watched Tyvis Powell help the Buckeyes win a national championship. Equally important. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
Speaking of that national championship, which Tyvis Powell has, somebody else trying to win one, maybe a team trying to go back-to-back. Coaches leading them. CBS Sports ranked them. Where is Ryan Day? Tyvis Powell, I'm Matt Fontana. So we start here at the top with CBS, and I guess I'll put it this way, Tyvis. Would you say of the college football coaches is the best? Of the 12 coaches out there, which one do you think stands above the rest?
Either Kirby Smart or Ryan Day.
They are 1 and 2. That's Chip Patterson into this article. He put Kirby Smart at number 1, and he said, there's no reason to overthink it. The only coach to make his 5th college football playoff appearance, none other, have 2 national championships to his name. It is Kirby Smart. And, you know, I think that's fair. You know, and by the way, he's got Ryan Day at number 2. He said, just look at the last 12 months. You know, again, a disappointing loss in the Big Ten championship, but it's hard to not look at, you know, beating Michigan. You've got the Natty. You got a good chance, you know, to win those. And I think it's hard to sit here and say, well, which one would you rather have? Like, I think they're both great coaches. Obviously, Kirby's a defensive guy. Ryan's an offensive guy. And frankly, that might be the reason I kind of maybe lean Ryan Day, just because I would maybe lean towards an offensive guy. But I think they're very clearly 1 and 2, and these are, you know, the right order, I think, of, again, I don't want to say right order because I could take either one, but would you say that there is a gap between those two and the rest of the field?
I wouldn't say Kirk Cignetti is too far behind. And Dan Lanning.
Okay, he is number 3 on Chip's list. He is number 3. I'd say, like, it's just more of the, he just doesn't have quite the accolades. He just got there relatively of, like, he's new on the scene, you know, there in Indiana, and I think they're building something. I just, like, Tyvis, I don't want to sound like I'm coming off like a hater when it comes to Indiana and Kurt Cignetti, but I'm also like, I'm going to be a hater for a second. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to go, call me in 2 years. Let me see where you're at. I know you built it up quick. I know you're doing great with getting the transfers to come in. You had Rourke, you know, you got Fernando Mendoza. You're kind of on the map right now. Like, I just question if they can sustain that for quite a few years, and I guess kind of prove me wrong.
Yeah, no, I think that for some odd reason, Kirk Cignetti always gives me the Urban vibes. Just the way he talks, the way he carries himself, the confidence that he has. Like, to me, that's just kind of how Urban was. You know, like, yeah, I'm that dude. I'm going to show y'all I'm that dude. I'm going to go anywhere and make it better. And that just seems like what he's doing with Indiana. So maybe I'm a little biased because, to me, he reminds me of what my coach was when I played at O State.
Sure. Yeah, and I think Cignetti is really a great story of, like, he kind of waited for this opportunity. You know, he's not some, like, 37-year-old young buck that's on here. Like, he waited for his time and kind of fought his way to get to the top. And he's a great coach. I'm not saying, I'm with you. Like, I would love to play for Kirk Cignetti. He seems like that kind of coach. So he's at number 3. Number 4 on CBS's list of the ranking that's 1 through 12 college coaches in the playoff. Kalen DeBoer is at 4. And Chip Patterson, who did this article, said, I'm going to give him credit for the Washington run and the fact that he got them to a national championship, because the point of this article isn't necessarily just about, you know, the coach in their position. It's just the best head coach, and Kalen DeBoer did take the Huskies all the way to a national champion. They didn't win it, but at least they were there.
Who did they play in that first round?
Last year?
No.
Who did they play this year?
No, the year they went to the championship. Who did they beat? Was it Texas?
Are you talking about Washington?
Yeah, Washington.
Yeah.
Was it Texas? I feel like it was, and then they lost to the Wolverines, right?
Yeah, they lost the Wolverines. Was it? No, it wasn't. Oh my gosh, who was it? Because it was an upset. You know, it was
I can't remember.
It was Texas. Yep. It was Texas in the semifinal.
Was it Texas?
Yes.
Wow. I give him credit for that.
Okay, that's
I give him credit
that's
for
a
that.
good one then. That's pretty solid. Yeah. That's right, because everybody thought Texas was just going to boat race them, because then who did Michigan beat? Didn't they have a cakewalk then?
They lost to TCU the year before. Who did they play?
Oh, maybe that's what I'm thinking.
No, they lost that year. The year before. The next year, I don't know. Oh, they beat Bama.
We're all thrown off.
They beat
You're
Bama.
right. Yeah.
It was Nick
in the
Saban's
Rose
last
Bowl.
game.
Oh, that's right.
Yep, that's right.
That's right. That's right, because I keep thinking of the TCU loss. That's right, because the sign stealing thing, and they got found out in that. That's right. Okay, yeah, that's good. So, yeah, I mean, you got to give Kalen DeBoer credit for that. And even on this article, they write up for Kalen DeBoer, against top 25 opponents in his career at Fresno State, Washington, Alabama, Kalen DeBoer is 19-5 against top 25 teams in his career as a head coach. So, I mean, solid. I know there's a lot of people in Bama that maybe want him out depending on how this run goes. I know there's smoke about him maybe going to Michigan. Kalen DeBoer is at 5. At 4. Dan Lanning is at 5. Mike Elko at 6. Mario Cristobal at 7 of these rankings of the college coaches in the playoffs. Thoughts on any of those there, Tyvis? Dan Lanning at 5, Mike Elko at 6, and Mario Cristobal at 7.
I probably would have put Dan Lanning above Kalen DeBoer.
I listened to that.
Dan Lanning is let's just say he knows how to get his team motivated, and he fears no one. You know, I like that about him.
Mm-hmm.
I like that in a coach that's confident like that. That's gonna always get his guy. Like I was watching. Did you see his speech about US when they played USC? Where he was like, "We're wearing all black today because we're going to a Trojans funeral." I would have been turned if my coach ever said something like that. I'm like, so like for me, I like Dan Lanning. I just think he just knows how to get his guys ready to play in big time games. Mario Cristobal is very underrated as well because, you know, Mario Cristobal was at Oregon when Oregon came to the shoe and beat Ohio State. You know, he's always just been big on physicality and things like that. And, you know, that's kind of where this game always boils down to who's the more physical team. So he's always sneaky, like, good to me. He's somebody like if Miami beats A&M, then Ohio State better get ready for a physical matchup.
Yeah, it's funny because there's a clip going around it was about Nick Saban. This was years ago at Alabama. And he's like, you don't think Nick Saban knows talent on the coaching side? And he ran through, it was like Mario Cristobal was the offensive line coach. Dan Lanning was the assistant wide receiver coach. Kirby Smart was there. I think it was Bill O'Brien, like Mel Tucker. Like there was just all these amazing coaches, like assistants at Alabama. So there's a tie a little between Cristobal and Dan Lanning. All right, now down to number 8 is Joey McGuire at Texas Tech. I actually think he should be a little higher. I'm not saying I should put him ahead of Cristobal or Elko, but like I think Joey McGuire is a great coach at Texas Tech. Brett Venables at 9. I'd put him at 12 if I could, Tyvis. I think Brett Venables is terrible. I think he's awful. Number 9 is John Summerall, who's at Tulane. Of course, we know he's leaving. He's going to take the Texas job after the season. Bob Chesney at James Madison is at 11. And then they put poor Pete Golding at 12 because he's the interim guy at Ole Miss because Lane Kiffin left, which I get. I put Brett Venables behind all of them, man. I can't stand Brett Venables. I don't know what Oklahoma was thinking when they hired him to take that job. I get that he saved his job probably by making it. And in essence, I think he is last at 9 because, again, you put Summerall. I put Summerall ahead of him, too. But, like, then James Madison, an interim guy, like, come on, what are we doing with Brett Venables there? I don't think he's a good coach at all. I'm not shocked that Oklahoma made it. They had a good season. They had some big wins. But I cannot stand Brett Venables. I don't think he's good at all.
You got beef with him. I have beef with Dan Lanning.
What's your beef with Dan?
Really? Why?
Because he made that whole, like, we don't do stuff for clicks statement right before they played Colorado last year, I believe, and then they released the video of him saying we don't do stuff for clicks to get clicks. Yeah. And then the thing you said about like the Trojan funeral, like, yeah, that was a great clip, but you clearly released it to get some engagement on it. And then I thought he was a crybaby after they lost to Indiana. He was just like, he didn't want to talk about it in the press at all. Like they were asking him about it the Monday after, and he just didn't want to talk about it. He just wanted to move on. Those are what the Monday, Tuesday pressers are for, to talk about the game before. You're not new. Why are you acting like reporters aren't going to ask you about a loss to Indiana at home?
I mean, to Tyvis's point, which I also like about Dan Lanning, he seems like a real like football guy, but then there is a level of like phoniness to that because you can't just be that. You know, to your point, Dylan, like there are clips out there. It helps recruiting. And don't ever forget about this when it comes to college football. And I thought about this a lot in the Big Ten championship. And this is not a shot at Ryan Day. It's just, why do the coaches run out in front of their players? Because you can't ever forget that your coach is your number one recruiting tool. Your coach has got to be popular. He's got to be on social media. He's got to have clips. He's got to have followers. That's the world we live in. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Don't hate Dan Lanning because of what the game that they have to play. I think he tries hard to not be that, because I do think he is just a pure football guy. But if you're not doing that kind of stuff, you can't get in front of recruits that are on social media. They're on. Nobody wants to be on TikTok. Like, Tyvis, I hate TikTok. I'm not on TikTok. I won't ever be on TikTok. But if I was a head coach on the Division I level trying to recruit guys, I damn well better be on TikTok, whether I like it or not.
Yeah, no, I ain't on TikTok. My wife is a big TikTok person. To me, is you got Instagram Reels, like that's the same as TikTok. So I don't.
Yeah, we just got a couple days later.
I don't.
That's all right.
Yeah.
TikTok, whatever.
I'm on Instagram. I like Instagram.
This is the click world, I guess. Whatever.
Yeah, you got to have it. All right, we got the crosstalk. I got to get to another college story that, frankly, really pisses me off. I'm really bothered by this story, and I don't think I should, so I'm going to need Tyvis and Dylan to let me know if I'm in the right direction here, steer me back in the right direction. We'll get to all of it coming up right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning, friends. We are noticing just one crash on the roads, and it's happening still in Canal Winchester. It's 33 in that westbound direction. So as you're heading downtown, right before Gender Road and really at Bowen Road out there, the right shoulder is blocked. But hey, the road's pretty much empty when it comes to in and around the metro. A live look at 70 and 270 over on the west side. Still no issues to report as of right now. I'm 10 TV's Brina Albizu with your fan traffic.
Don't let credit hold you back. Capital Florida, Columbus, and Whitehall welcomes all credit types with open arms. Find your dream ride and get approved fast. Call 614-861-7150 or on the web at capitalfordofcolumbus.com.
Get an Eco.
Aaron, how is a regular water heater different from a tankless water heater?
A regular water heater keeps a tank of water hot and ready for you to use when you need it.
Get an Eco.
And a tankless water heater?
A tankless water heater instantly heats the water for you whenever you need it, so you never run out of hot water.
Get an Eco.
That's what makes regular water heaters and tankless water heaters different.
But they're also both alike.
Yes, they are.
They both heat water.
Get an Eco.
But there's another way they are alike.
What's that?
They both need to be flushed out once a year if you want to avoid big problems.
Well, I have a solution.
Really?
EcoFi Advantage. Flushing out your water heaters is just one of the long list of things they do for you every year for just $28 a month.
Get an Eco.
EcoFi Advantage.
Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
Timmy Hall and real common man here for our friends at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
We've got plenty of holiday specials for you this month. You can enjoy a 4-course wine dinner at the lounge at Final Cut. Plus, there's holiday takeout specials.
And we got happenings on New Year's Eve.
What's happening?
Winning. You could win a 2026 Chevy Traverse, $35,000 in cash, or $50,000 in Penn slot play.
Become a member of our rewards program on the Penn Play app and get a $20 dining credit.
It's all going down this month at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The open road feels even better with CME Federal Credit Union. CME wants to beat your current auto loan rate by 1.5% APR and give you a fresh start with no payments for 60 days. Whether it's tailgates, pumpkin patches, or road trips through Ohio's back roads, let CME help you cozy up to savings and make this season one to remember. Terms apply. APR as low as 4.99%. Federally insured by NCUA. Visit CMEFCU.org.
Picture it, your holiday table, the family cooking together, the scent of golden brown bread, rosemary from roasted potatoes, and a salad so crisp it snaps. This season at Kroger, make the moments that matter possible with quality that's affordable in every aisle. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Save big on Kroger brand Hickory smoked spiral bone and ham. Just 89 cents a pound with your card and additional $25 purchase. Limit 2. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Your credit, your car, our promise. At Capital Florida, Columbus, and Whitehall, we approve all credit types. Perfect, challenged, or none. Drive off today with easy financing. Visit today or online at capitalfloridaColumbus.com.
This is Corey Sickles with Safe Harbor Retirement Group. If you are retired or in the planning stages, we can help you maximize your income. Visit safeharboroh.com to schedule a complimentary meeting. safeharboroh.com.
Timmy Hall here, proud to be back for my 4th year supporting Nationwide Children's Hospital and Light Up the Lawn, Light Up a Life. The holidays can be tough for kids and families spending it in the hospital. So now through December 31st, more than 100 giant illuminated butterflies will shine on the hospital lawn, each one sparkling to life with every single donation. When patients see those butterflies glow, they'll know their community's thinking of them, sending waves of hope and joy. So let's do this together. Let's light up the lawn and light up a life. Donate now at nationwidechildrens.org/give.
Hey, it's Austin Ward. Listen to The Beat with Austin and Byrne, now powered by the Waterworks and Header Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Get the latest Buckeye news, insights, and unbeatable analysis every day. Don't miss a moment. Stream The Beat with Austin and Byrne, sponsored by the Waterworks and Header Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Back in the day, if you wanted to listen to the Fan, you turned on the radio, and that was the end of the story. But now, oh baby, stream us live on the Fan app. TuneIn app, iHeart app, we're everywhere. The Fan, Ohio's streaming destination. All your favorite Fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Tyvis has a bum wrist from playing football. Bone has a bum wrist from opening the heavy doors at Sheets. You're listening to T-Bone and Tyvis.
We got the buzzer coming up in a story that it frankly just really bothers me when it comes to college football, and I don't know if it should, so I'm going to need Tyvis and Dylan to let me know if I'm on the right track or not. It's T-Bone and Tyvis, Matt Fontaine in for T-Bone this morning, and we bring in the great Bo Bishop. Bo, I want to get you just put out a great Twitter question or a poll on Twitter that I want to get to in a second about Caleb Downs. But, Bo, I wanted to talk to you about this because you've been covering sports a long time, and you've seen the breaking news scenarios. Man, this Sherrone Moore situation, it really just took me aback, what happened Wednesday night. But just, I don't want to ask you to, rank it because it's hard with all the breaking news stuff that we've seen. But it's this is one where you're waking up in the morning wanting updates and wanting a true breaking news fashion. We know it gets to rain later, but just your thoughts on this whole situation and just kind of where Michigan goes from here.
Well, buddy, there's so many layers to it, right? I mean, there is the football side of it. I think most of us always assumed that when Michigan promoted Sherrone Moore without a true coaching search, that he was going to be a patsy. And if there was more crumbs that came from the Jim Harbaugh scandals, that he would be the one that would take the fall for that. So I think there's that part of it. I think the second part of it is, what did the powers that be at Michigan know, and when did they know it? I mean, I think that's really critical. When did they know, and what did they? Because I find it so disingenuous that all these national people are like, oh, yeah, I've heard about Sherrone Moore for years. I've heard about it for years. But nobody ever did anything about it. Nobody ever reported on it. Nobody looked into it. Come to find out, Michigan's been looking into it since the summer. But then they hire this outside investigative firm, and it's not until Wednesday that the person that he's having the alleged affair with comes forward and says, yeah, this is the way that it's happened, and that's from John U. Bacon. So I think that part of it is very fascinating. Where Michigan goes from here is really fascinating. I assume they have a name. I assume they've made contact, and I'm assuming this is going to go pretty quick. And then the fourth layer of it is the personal side. I mean, there's a wife and 3 young girls whose lives are ruined because of a man's recklessness and his behavior. So there's so many layers to it. It's up there with any of them for sure. And I'm very curious to see where it goes from here and what the total fallout is in Ann Arbor.
Bo, Fish tells me that you have a special guest. He won't tell me who it is, so I ask you, who is this special guest that you have coming up?
Well, I mean, I'm doing the whole show with Tim May. I mean, you can't get more special than
true.
that. Tim May.
Know what I mean?
And then at 10:30, a quarterback is going to call in. So Julian Sayin is going to be on at 10:30. So there's the headliner, Tim May, for 3 hours. Can you imagine? And then kind of the undercard, Heisman Trophy finalist at 10:30.
I like that. Look at that. Yeah. Looking forward to listening to that. Yeah. Ask him.
I will too.
Ask him, can he throw me a bomb? You know, Bo, I should have played receiver because coming into Ohio State, I was an ATH. So technically, I could have just been a wide receiver.
Dude, when I saw the image of you in your high school jersey wearing that one with that sweet towel draped around your waist, you were ready, dude. Going into the Hall of Fame in February, my guy had the swag rolling as a prepster. You were ready.
I had the red cleats with the red gloves.
You had red cleats and red gloves. You were ready to go.
Dude, Philip Rivers is back, Tyvis. Don't give up, man. Don't give up. We'll find you a workout. We'll get you back. Real quick, Bo, great question. On the All-Ohio State team, is Caleb Downs the starting safety? I thought about it. I'm like, man, I grew up with Whitner, Doss, because Malcolm Jenkins was a corner. I know he played safety in the NFL, but he was a corner here. Like, I don't know, Bo, that's a great question. I think Caleb Downs might be in that conversation of that starting all-time safety for the Buckeyes.
Well, look, I'm going to take my nephew as one of them, Mr. Powell. He's going to be one of them. He made one of the biggest plays in the history of the program. So you can't do that. It's probably Doss and Caleb. I think Caleb, he won the Thorpe. He's a 3-time All-American, 2-time here national champion, Heisman in the top 10. So to me, he feels like him and Doss are the most decorated.
Yeah.
And then, of course, if your nickname is the Assassin.
I'm telling you, you got to have, that's the top 3
Jack
right
Tatum.
there. Jack
I know,
Tatum.
but pick 2.
You splitting hairs. That's hard.
Pick 2.
That's hard.
Those are the 3.
On the defense, are they running? Do I need a coverage safety? Do I need a linebacker in the box?
I'm going to do the smart thing, Bo, and I'm going to say the all-time starting safeties would be Tyvis Powell and Von Bell. Thank you.
Thank you. Done and done. We saw it. It was greatness, and it was perfection. It was great. Bo, it's going to be perfect today. Julian Sayin joining the show. What a day.
Yeah.
Bishop and Friends coming up. Do not miss with you and Tim May, man.
All right, guys. Looking forward to it.
There he goes, Cole Bishop. All right,
shove it down your throat.
It's time for the buzzer.
Sponsored by Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems. Find your local Bryant Heating and Cooling dealer at Bryant.com.
Guys, I am irrationally mad about this for the fact that USC might not get to play at the Coliseum in 2028 because of the Olympics. So the story comes out, the Olympics are coming to LA in 2028. Apparently, Tyvis, they have to build a $100 million temporary track that is going to go in the Coliseum where they can host the track and field events, right? Now, it's going to get torn down, obviously, but it needs to be torn down by July 30th, the closing ceremony. But they said the playing surface, which is natural grass, would not be ready in time for a football season. So there is a chance that USC would have to go to SoFi for the 2028 season, ending a streak since 1923. The Trojans have called the Coliseum their home. That's at risk in 2028. I'd rather not have the Olympics at this point if it's going to sacrifice that.
Matt, I
angry about this time.
I love you, but you out to lunch. Those kids will love to play in SoFi for an entire year. You're not going to get any pushback from none of those players. They're going to enjoy playing in SoFi because it is beautiful in there and it's in a dome. So yeah, the Olympics can have the Coliseum for 1 year.
And that's $1 billion coming to LA, so there's not going to be anybody standing in the way of that. Guys, always appreciate you having me in for T-Bone. A lot of fun. I'm filling in a couple times coming up, so really love it. Dylan, Tyvis, appreciate you. Do not miss it. Bishop and Friends coming up with Julian Sayin. This has been The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Well, still no major concerns to talk about on this Friday commute, so I do want to give you a heads up about a big construction project starting tonight. So what's happening is that a ramp will be closed. It's that 71 northbound ramp downtown as you're heading towards 70 in that eastbound direction, just passing Greenlawn Avenue as well. That will be closed starting at 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. So definitely take note of a detour or workaround here. 71 northbound to 315 northbound in that direction. Get you to 670, take that eastbound, eventually going back north on 71. I'm 10 TV.